Do. Good morning, everybody. Let me let the Discord know that we're live. Pop on over there. How is everybody? Boom, ba-da-boo. Let's do this. Good morning, everyone. Just sending a quick message. I moved my mic over a little bit today, and it's really messing with my my ability to type because I moved it a little closer, so I'm not always having to crank it. Happy Monday to everybody. Happy Monday. I gotta grab a drink. I'm still here with you. I just forgot my little soda water. Very important. There we go. I got made fun of so much for having the Kirkland ones last week that I had to, or 2 weeks ago, I had to switch to Waterloo. Apparently, leftists are not supposed to go to Costco. That's what I've been told. So, I don't know if that's a true statement. I still went anyways, but we're going Waterloo. Good morning. Yes, a nice little seltzer. Nice little seltzer for this morning. Let me also start the recording. Sorry for the sniffs already today, guys. I am going to do my very, very best to have... Oh, now you can hear it. I'm going to do my very best to keep those sniffs out of the microphone. And we're recording just in case. Just in case TikTok takes away. Snowflake! Thank you, Yolanda. Welcome, everybody. Happy Trump trial day. He looks very happy. He looks incredibly happy. I'm already getting shit in the Discord about that. Look, I don't know about the Costco comment. I was made fun of many. Yeah, Waterloo is so mid. It is one of the worst seltzer waters I've ever had. So, yeah, I don't know the thing about Costco though. Somebody told me that. It might have been a joke. Might not even have been a real lefty. Most regret voting for Biden. Coming in hot today. The puppies are coming in hot, but happy Trump arrives for the start of his trial. Fun way to cover this when you watch these. Let me pop over to CNN. I just want to show you the difference. So, CNN's headline is, "No one is above the law," prosecutor says as Trump's civil trial starts. They also said ex-president co-defendants found liable for fraud, a finding that may end his business career in his former home state. The trial will decide the damages owed. Okay, maybe a little left-leaning there. Fair enough. Fox News headline, "Witch hunt." Newsmax headline, "Trump arrives for start of sham civil trial." Do you guys know? Have you guys heard a single good reason why this is a sham? Is anybody? Like a single solid? The only one I've heard, and I looked into this weekend, the only one that I've heard is that the judge valued his property at Mar-a-Lago at $18 million instead of $1 billion. But this is how dumb Trump is. If that property was valued at $1 billion at the time of the assessment, Trump would be bankrupt now. Okay, so this is how this works. Basically, any money that Donald Trump has made off of the loans from Mar-a-Lago, because he's been shown that he got the loans by committing fraud. Anything he made for lending against Mar-a-Lago, at Mar-a-Lago, anything that they can tie back to this specific instance of him committing crimes, those are damages he has to pay. So the 18 to 25 million is based on, I want to say, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, it's either the start, like from 2004 when it was 18 million, or like the average. So if it was $1 billion, that would be a real problem. That'd be a real problem. That would be a real problem. But that's the only defense I've heard, is that they valued the property wrong. But that doesn't have like much of an impact. It really doesn't. Has almost no impact, really. By the way, I was looking too. Donald Trump's been writing off the entire Mar-a-Lago for his living expenses, but I think you can only write off like 0.25 or 0.35 acres, and it's like 15. Do you know what the rule of law is? Yeah, I do. Why wouldn't I vote for him? That's a good question. Why wouldn't you vote for Trump? You can come up here. I can tell you the reasons I wouldn't vote for Trump. Now, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't vote for Trump because, one, he appears to be a criminal. Two, because he appears to be a criminal, And 3, because he appears to be a criminal. But 4, also because he was a bad president. 5, because he doesn't care about our military. He openly mocks them. 6, because he hires like the worst people possible. Like every single person around him sucks. 7, I think his kids are dumb. Here we go for the carousel ride. Good morning, Dark Snuggles.
Hello, my friend. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah. What's up?
We're 91 charges, and he's still not in jail. Is there a problem here? Still can't get him in jail. Eight
Do you want me to
years
answer
here.
that or no?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
interested.
none of those
Taking
trials
a long time. Yeah, let me hear your excuse.
None of those trials have started.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
Yes,
great.
No, really. None of
it's going to go past the elections. You know that. It's going to be. It's going to be continued past the elections. You know it.
Wait a minute.
You guys have been talking so much.
So real quick.
Yeah.
You think that he should be in jail before?
Right. No. I'm just saying.
Trials?
Snuggles has been winning.
Like
you guys are using excuses.
Like before the trial is what you thought.
Right. You guys have evidence, and you can't put him away.
Well, we haven't got a trial yet.
Everybody in January 6th is in jail.
There.
But you can't put him away. January 6th, he's in jail. You can't put him away.
The difference?
How come?
Do you want to know the difference?
How come? No.
Yeah. You don't want to know the difference. You just want to monologue?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm winning here.
You're just here to tell me things. What do you want to tell me, Snuggles?
You know Snuggles has been winning.
Go
you guys can't put him away.
Somehow
there's continuances.
Go ahead. Say what you have to say.
I'm just saying, RTP, how long are you guys going to talk the talk and not walk the walk? It's going to be continued well past this November, these court cases. You know that.
Okay.
So you're not winning yet. Trump's going to be president. You know that.
No.
And then
I don't know that.
This guy can't walk.
In fact, nobody knows that, because what you do is you have an election and people vote, and then at the end, like, they count up the votes in all these different places, and then we know who's president.
Okay, so Biden is normal. He could walk across the stage straight, right? That's all you got?
I have a question for you.
How come you support Biden?
No, I just have a quick question for you. Have you have you ever had a conversation with a human before?
Actually, I'm trying to have one with you, but I don't think you're too human.
The reason I'm asking that, Snuggles, is that you seem to not be able to answer a question or stay on subject ever.
Yeah. I was wondering, though, how can you support a guy?
Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. There he's going that way now. Now he's going to go that way. Oh,
I know.
Squirrel.
I want to be like you, because that's where you go, too.
Oh, you're not even good at shit talking either. You just take my insults and you're like, I know you are, but what am I?
We're like brothers here, because
I'm a rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you.
Nobody cares, Snuggles.
You're like, it's like looking in a mirror. Two handsome guys trying to get information from each other. You're handsome. I'm handsome. We're trying to get answers.
That's very nice.
Hey, listen, RTP, how come you support elder abuse? Because that's what you're supporting, Biden. It's elder abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you supporting that? Why do you guys all support that? Why don't you have backup? Where's a backup nominee?
Why don't you have a backup?
Dude, your guy's like
exactly,
your guy's like 3 years younger. Your guy's like 3 years younger. What are you? They're both old.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
one can talk and one can't.
It only matters if the guy you don't like is old. But if the guy that you worship is old, like your guy wears diapers, actual diapers. Last week he said that he was worried Biden was going to put us in World War II.
World War II.
Are you now? My question is: are you nervous? Are you nervous about Biden pulling us into World War II?
Trump's going to be president. You want to make a statement?
Are you worried? Hey, Snuggles, are you worried about Snuggles, are you worried about Biden pulling us into World War II?
RTP, can we have a bet that Trump will be president?
Are you worried, Snuggles, about? Are you worried about Biden? Are you worried about Biden pulling us into World War II?
RTP,
are you worried about Biden pulling us into World War II? See, I'm trying to help you.
We already had World War II, buddy.
Oh, we did?
World War II.
Oh, well, Donald Trump doesn't seem to know that, because Donald Trump said last week. Because Donald Trump said last week, shushies, Snuggles, shushies. Because last week, Trump was like, hey, Biden's going to pull us into World War II. Do you remember that one time Trump ran against Obama and beat him?
Right.
You don't remember that either, because also that didn't happen?
Listen, it didn't happen, but listen.
Gotcha. Hey, did you know, Snuggles, did you know that according to your guy, 3 wells a week come up on the
RTP,
South Carolina
RTP.
shores. And hold on, let me explain.
Trump's
It's because of windmills. It's because
Trump's
of
not in jail.
windmills.
You're not winning.
But you showed up today thinking, I'm going to make fun of Joe Biden.
Hey, but you know what? Trump's not in
Fuck outta
jail.
here.
Is that yes or
Get
no?
the fuck out of here, you
Trump in jail,
child.
yes or no?
Trump's in jail. Da, da, da.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, is he in
dude.
jail? Yes or
No,
no?
the trials haven't
Exactly.
started.
You're not winning here then.
Exactly.
You're all talk, no
Nobody's
action.
winning. Nobody's
RTP,
winning.
I am winning.
We're all losing equally.
I
We're
bet you
all
a
losing
steak.
equally.
I bet you a steak he becomes president.
And by the way, like
Please,
wish
I want to have a steak with you live.
wish list Eugene Levy, you're not winning. But what's the bet you want?
Okay, I bet that Trump will be president.
Okay, cool.
A steak.
What's the stakes? Snuggles?
Live on air. I'll buy you a steak wherever you go.
Okay, but
Live.
fair enough. And if Trump loses?
If Trump loses, I get you a steak. It's just a simple steak. bet.
I'm a liberal, so I only eat vegetables and soy.
Okay, well then I'll get you a veggie tray, fried veggies.
What I want,
'Cause I like you, man.
No, I want a steak made out of mashed soy.
Wherever you can get that, whatever you
No,
want.
you have to make it for me. You got to make me a soy mashed steak patty.
I will look that up.
It's just go to trumpsteaks.com. It probably tastes about as good as his steaks. Oh wait, that business went under too. I forgot that business
my
is no
God.
longer in place. I forgot about
Oh, my
that.
God.
Well, you can wash it down with some Trump water. No, not that. Maybe you could fly there on Trump Air. Oh no, we could
RTP,
maybe
I
go
love
to
you.
one. We could go to one of Trump's casinos for the steak. Oh no, those don't exist either.
I
Maybe
do
we
love
could
you.
maybe we could raise some money and we could donate it to Trump's charity. Oh wait, you can't do that either. Oh no, we're running out
You know
of
what?
things.
But there's a thing called
We're
appeal.
running out of things.
There's a thing
Oh,
called
Trump-
appeal.
Let's put an ad for this. We'll do a debate. We'll put it in Trump
Yeah,
magazine.
okay.
Oh nope, that
right.
went under too. Oh
Hey,
no.
listen. Hey, we'll do an
Oh,
appeal on that.
no.
We'll do an appeal, buddy. Trust me.
An appeal? What does that mean?
On the New York case for
You
his
can't-
businesses.
Hey, you know why I know that you're wrong
That'll
about
be
that?
appealed easily.
Wait, hold on. Do you know why I know you're wrong about that?
Go ahead, RTP.
Cause you can't appeal a civil case. You never know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't appeal a civil case, you potato.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. No, they've already ruled on this case. Now they're
Right.
doing damages.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference
Your
between
information is remarkably
there's
low.
difference between an entity and a human. Okay, there's a difference between an entity.
Everybody
The
knows
entity
that.
is what lost the business. You know what an entity is? No, you don't. An entity.
I
it's not,
do.
It's
Wait,
not
this
Donald
isn't
Trump
a criminal.
himself.
It's not a criminal case.
I'm just saying.
It cannot be
You
appealed.
cannot.
You said, and I quote, "We'll win on appeal." You can't
Right.
appeal it, you potato.
Right. Right. Wait till you see this.
See
You
what?
cannot. Because you cannot go after Donald Trump.
You know he already
right?
lost.
Himself.
Wait, do you know that he already
They
lost? Wait,
went after
Snuggles,
the Trump
Snuggles,
org.
Snuggles, do you know?
entity organization.
Do you know that they already lost the case?
I know. I'm just saying you cannot
no,
go
it's
after.
over. No, it's over. This is
No,
just
it's
about
not.
damage. No, this is
just
about
the beginning.
damages. No,
This
it's
is just the
this case
beginning.
is over.
Okay,
Oh
what do
my
you think
God,
they're there
dude,
for
like,
today?
It's crazy that people think you're like a good voice for them.
Hey,
When
listen,
people go like,
RTP,
Snuggles is
RTP,
awesome. I'm
you
like,
will
oh, no.
you will soon find out, RTP, when this
What
goes
will
up
I
to the
soon
Supreme
find
Court. This is still up at the Supreme Court. We're still waiting for answers at the Supreme Court level. Trust me, you can't go
For
after
this
an
case?
entity. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that, RTP? RTP, you got to educate yourself because this is already at a Supreme
You
Court
don't
level.
know what you're talking
RTP,
about.
no, you
You're
don't
so
even know what you're
pretty.
talking. RTP, it's already
You're
at
so
the
pretty,
Supreme Court level.
Snuggles. You're
You
so
don't even
pretty.
know. Trust me, bro.
What's at the Supreme Court level?
It's called an appeal process.
It was ruled like it was ruled on last week.
No, you're wrong.
You're telling me
you're stuttering and you're lying to 700
case.
You sound like Zeus.
Shushies. You're telling me
Zeus number 2.
Shush. You're telling me that a court case that was ruled on last week has already made it to the Supreme Court in 3 days?
It's already at the appellate court.
That doesn't happen.
Court.
You said Supreme Court. Now it's in the appellate court. Where are we
I'm
going?
so sorry. It's already going to the appellate court.
It's not at the appellate court. It's Judge Judy's taking care of it. I meant Judge Judy.
Okay, yeah, all right. You know what?
Maybe
You're
it's
going to
Judge
lose.
Janine that's taking care of this.
Hey, listen, RTP, you don't
Yeah.
really know what you're talking about. You sound
Sure.
cool. You're
Sure,
making
bud.
it sound cool. I could talk just like you.
No, because you're not
Fast
clever
and
or
easy.
smart.
And
No,
you
you're not
wanna know
clever
what?
or smart.
Oh,
That's why I'm better at
absolutely.
this than you.
I have over 1,000 to 2,000 people follow, that come to my shows, okay? on 5 different accounts. Okay.
Okay.
Now listen, RTP.
Yes, sir.
I am totally winning this. He's not in jail.
Yeah, you are. You're doing really
You guys
well.
lost.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I am. You guys cannot get him in jail, no matter what you have on him. 91 charges, and you still haven't put him in jail.
Well, he hasn't went to trial yet, right?
I'm just saying, you guys are trying so hard.
Yeah, but that's dumb, right? You understand? That's
but they're
like,
losing their cases.
Like, of course, he hasn't gone to jail yet for the crimes that he's accused of that he hasn't gone to trial
for. This case is falling apart. How are you gonna put Nancy Pelosi up as a witness? How are you gonna put Nancy Pelosi up as a witness for January 6th? Because she was supposed to have the National Guards there.
Excuse me, what?
Nancy Pelosi is supposed to have the National Guards there on J6.
Hold on, let's go through that.
Are we going to put her up as? She's not going to come up.
Let's go
as
through.
A witness.
Let's go through these statements. January 6th. Now, which trial is the January 6th one?
Well, Jack Smith.
What charges?
Isn't it the Jack Smith one?
Wait. Do you know that? Do you know that Donald Trump's not being charged for January 6th?
It's all over the news. Have you heard that he is? You haven't even heard that he is. It's amazing. Yes, January 6th. He's going up there. Jack Smith has him.
Which indictment is that, Snuggles?
Jack Smith has him up there for January 6th. He's going to question him on January 6th.
What?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from all your Democrat lives. All you Democrat lives. I'm telling you, you guys talk about January 6th.
You're talking about the conspiracy ones? You're talking about the conspiracy? Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the conspiracy case?
Right. Ask Zeus.
Okay, so if you're charged with conspiracy, that would be all the planning, right? So nothing. Nancy Pelosi would never need to be there for any reason.
Right. Because she's the one that was supposed to have the National Guards there, right?
No, actually,
January 6th wouldn't have happened if she had the guards there.
I'm going to help you out with something here. Now, I need you to be quiet so I don't have to mute you through this, but I need you to understand something. The National Guard reports directly to the executive branch. Nancy Pelosi did not have authority or the right to call the National Guard.
Really? You're very wrong on that.
In fact, do you know who did call the National Guard eventually?
Can I play a video for you on that?
Do you know who? No, you cannot. Do you know who called? Because I already
you're wrong.
know.
Why won't you let me play a video?
Because I don't. If your video says
you're
anything,
wrong. RTP, you're wrong.
Shush. If your video says anything other than what I just said, then your video is fake. They don't know what they're talking about.
It comes from a congressional hearing.
Listen, this is how this works. Is the governor of each state?
You're right, and I'm wrong.
Correct.
Is that how it works?
The governor of each state has control over the National Guard.
Please look at Byron Douglas.
But DC,
look up Byron Douglas, please.
Byron Douglas doesn't know what the fuck. Oh, now I do know the video you're talking about. Byron Douglas. I have to do it. Sorry. And Byron Douglas doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's a lawmaker.
The DC National Guard is under the direct control of the executive branch. Which is why when they did finally show up, it's because they were called by Mike Pence, who is in the executive branch. Executive branch. Go ahead.
Look at Byron Douglas, Nancy Pelosi, on how. No, just look it up, and he'll explain to you. Okay, he'll explain to you the order of how it goes.
I'm going to mute you. I'll look that up, and you right now Google who controls the DC National Guard. Just look it up right now. I'll wait.
Right. Listen. The President of the United States asked for 10 to 20,000 National Guard. Right? It goes from the DOD down to the Sergeant at Arms.
Correct.
The Sergeant, who's in control of who's the boss of the Sergeant at Arms? Nancy Pelosi.
The Sergeant at Arms is the Capitol Police.
Yeah, he's dead, by the way.
No.
You know why he's dead?
The National Guard is never under the direction of Capitol Police. The National Guard is under the direction of the executive branch.
Listen to Byron Douglas. Listen to Byron Douglas, Nancy Pelosi.
Never listen to Byron Douglas. If I can give people any advice at all, Byron Douglas just got caught in a congressional hearing editing evidence. He literally just got caught lying in a congressional hearing. They pulled up the actual
editing evidence,
and he edited out the quote to take out the context. That's who we should listen to. That's who we should listen to.
How does someone edit evidence? You're wrong. How does someone edit evidence? So what you're saying is there was evidence.
It was a text.
Thank you. Thank
they
you.
and they
People don't think
edited
that
it.
there's evidence. Half your crowd here doesn't think there's evidence
Of what?
on Biden.
Well, there's no evidence that links directly to
Right, well, no,
Biden.
you
There's
just said there was evidence. You just said Byron edited evidence.
Yeah, there is evidence.
So what you're
but none
saying
of
is there was evidence.
correct.
Oh, great, because none of the Democrats think that there was evidence.
Well, I say that
So
every day.
RTP, I just caught you saying finally the first Democrat on here
Cool.
through all
Now
the Democratic lives that admitted to evidence.
Cool.
On
So
Biden.
now, okay.
Congratulate.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Please.
you got to be shushies for a sec, though. Okay.
I know, because I'm winning on this one.
Yeah, you are. You're doing really great.
I am. I am.
Hey, you got to stop like when other people talk. Okay. You got this
right.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's evidence, and then there's evidence that could link Joe Biden to a crime. There is no. There's not even an alleged crime yet.
Oh,
what's
they
the
make
crime?
this stuff up then?
What's the alleged crime?
Oh, so what you're telling me is Republicans make up crimes?
What is the alleged crime?
What is the alleged crime?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Biden he got bank wires. They got bank wires. Hunter Biden to his daddy.
So getting bank wires
so
is
listen,
not a
really,
crime. So
really,
no, Dark Snuggles.
Russian oligarchs.
What is the
Russian
crime?
oligarchs paying
what
things,
is the
bribes.
crime? Okay, we're gonna try this again. I got to mute you. What is the crime he's being accused of?
Bribery is a crime.
Is he being accused of bribery?
Yes.
By who?
By the investigation. That's what they call an investigation. You think people just sit around and make shit up?
This isn't an investigation.
RTP, you can't just sit there and tell me that crimes get made up.
Hold on. This is an impeachment.
Where do you think they're getting this from?
Shush. So this is an impeachment inquiry, not an investigation.
Where do you think that they're getting this information from?
And the people leading the impeachment inquiry have not accused Joe Biden.
Is this made up?
They haven't accused him of a crime. They have.
How do you know he didn't have the bribery?
What crime?
How do you know he didn't have the bribery? How do you know?
What crime is the impeachment inquiry accusing him of committing?
How do you know? Isn't that what an inquiry is?
What crime is the impeachment inquiry accusing him of committing? Well, they're not doing that. That's just what you're accusing him of.
Right? No. That's what it's on. That's what's being said in the congressional hearing.
Actually,
so you want to blow off a crime just to make a point?
Shush.
You know I'm right on this.
Shush.
People don't just make up crimes.
Shush. They have not. Shush. They have not accused him of bribery. In fact, you can find a clip of Andy Biggs, Freedom Caucus, and he's walking out after the hearing, and they said, "What about the $5 million bribe?" And he said, "We have no evidence of that."
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that really? So what you're saying here is
Andy Biggs on the Freedom Caucus, right?
RTP. So what you're saying is that
Andy Biggs is on the Freedom Caucus, right?
Can I just say something really quick?
Andy Biggs is in the Freedom Caucus, right?
So?
Okay, Republican, right?
Yeah, and?
One of the leaders in the impeachment inquiry, right?
Paid off.
He said, we don't have any evidence of a bribe.
Right. Okay, well, some people take the sides of the Democrats. So where did all this information come up to create an inquiry? Are you just going to blow that off? You think people just sit around and make up crimes? You sound stupid.
Here's the fun thing, Snuggles. The information has come from
RTP, you sound stupid.
The information has come from a lot of different places. There was an FBI investigation.
You can't just sit there and make up crimes and say, no, this didn't happen.
There were interviews conducted by Republicans. There are emails. There is the Hunter Biden's laptop.
There's wire fraud.
All of that has come together. They've used every bit of information they could possibly get. They looked at SARS reports. Now, you of course know what a SARS report is, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hey, listen, really quick.
What is it?
I am not gonna sit here.
Snuggles? You didn't just lie about something that you knew about, right? What is it, Snuggles?
No, I'm not going to sit here.
What's a SARS report, Snuggles?
RTP.
What's a SARS report?
What you're saying here is no, RTP. Really quick here, RTP. What you're saying is you're ignoring criminals. You're ignoring
thank you. What is a SARS report, Snuggles? You're muted. What is a SARS report, Snuggles, that you just said you knew? And stop Googling it. Stop Googling it.
SARS is an infectious disease. That's what you're doing.
I got to tell you,
that's what you're doing.
You're not cut out for political debate.
Teaching America by your lie.
You're not cut out for this. How many times can somebody lie? It's an infectious disease. Suspicious activity report. That's what it is. So the Republicans gathered all of this evidence, everything that we have, and even with all the evidence that people love to cite, their own party is saying, yeah, we don't have evidence of a bribe. Migdalia rolled on. Sorry, Snuggles, you had your shot. You can go back. You can crawl back into your hole now. Just lies right to me. Hey guys, good news. Rosebud is back here. I wonder what Rosebud wants. Rosebud, I thought you were just DMing me how much you hated me and how you were reporting me. Why are you back? That's going to be a really nice clip for me right there, by the way. I now get to clip Snuggles saying, I know what it is, and then running from it. Just running from it. Like, oh, I got to change it. Just looking for opposition right now. I don't know. Takesha, I know we've talked before. I can't remember if you're opposition or not. Rosebud, no thank you. I'm just going to be a no thank you for me. I'm not desperate yet. But at some point I might. At some point I might have fun. Snuggles, by the way, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. It's always good to hear your voice. I thought Wish Eugene Levy was a pretty good one. Yes, Rosebud does not like me. You can scroll up in the Discord if you want to see those screenshots. It is a little easy. All right. Takesha, so I'm going to take it the Takesha's opposition. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I know we've talked before. Hi, Takesha.
RTP, I didn't even want to speak on anything. I just thank you so much for that takedown of Snuggles. Nobody has ever taken him down like you just took him down. And I'm over here so happy I'm rubbing myself. And that's all I wanted to say. Listen, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I will be pleasing myself all day behind that takedown. Thank you so much, RTP. Have a good one.
Thank you. I don't endorse any of that. I did not endorse any of that. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It was for educational purposes only. She feels really that she's rubbing her wrists. She's got some carpal tunnel. But when she does the wrist exercise, helps the carpal tunnel. Jesus Christ. Was not prepared for that. Stanley. Hi, Stanley.
Yes, I agree. He might take Snugs down like that. He can't even answer a question. You know what Sarge is. I'm like, what? He trying to get around it. He trying to get around that question.
So
Come on,
Snuggles,
tell me.
Snuggles' entire. So just so you guys know, Snuggles, his debate style is to just say a bunch of things he's heard and never have to answer any real questions. So if any of you are ever in a panel with him, just keep repeating the question you asked, because he's not going to answer it because he can't answer it, because he doesn't know. I'm not 100% sure if Snuggles is a right-winger or just like he likes the attention. But the way he debates, that's how he debates. You just keep asking him the same question, he'll fall apart every time.
That's what I thought. I thought that. I don't think he's a Republican. I think he getting paid doing this.
But I don't know.
To start round things up.
I don't know about that. Listen, I get accused of that same thing. I get accused of the same thing, so I'm not going to make that accusation. I don't know why he does it. Maybe he believes it, but he doesn't do any research to believe anything because he has no facts.
And he also denies. You hear what Trump says? You tell him what Trump said. He said he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I said, we all seen the same thing. He did. I'm like, we did say that. I'm like, come on, Snug, come on. You said it, but you said something else. So I'm just sick and tired of these MAGAs. I'll never sit down and break bread with neither of them.
Well, maybe when Donald Trump goes away, we can all come back together and have
until now
have a soy steak.
Until now we can't. It just because I gave a question to someone online. I said, if there's 4 Yahtzees at the table, and you go sit down at the table, how many Yahtzees at the table now? They can't ask that
Yeah.
question. He said, what do you
Well,
mean?
I don't want to go there.
Okay.
I think that unfortunately, just a lot of people. It is difficult to take the time to be educated on things, and it is difficult to have the facts right. And it's really easy to just like repeat things that you heard from people that you trust and sound factual. The problem that MAGA has is since Trump took over, and since he's decided that like lying, even when it's so obvious that what the truth is, that he's just going to do that. That's where MAGA's gone, and that's who they've become. And I really do hope that like when he goes away, that they learn their lesson. They don't bring up people like Vivek or other like just rightly, Ted Cruz's. I hope they get back to, even though I don't like their ideas, at least trying some of their ideas, at least trying to legislate. I really hope that happens. But unfortunately, right now, all the
Yeah.
crazies are in charge of the GOP, so we're not going to get anywhere with them.
It's just the Freedom Caucus holding everything up.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
brother.
like,
I appreciate it.
all right.
See ya.
Have a good day.
You too. Thanks, Stanley. Fave is here. The best government is no government. Disagree with that. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Hey, Fave. All right. I don't know what's going on. All right. Let's go over and see what old Newsmax is upset about. Fave, there you are again. I'm not sure what's going on. Fave?
Hey, sorry, my mic was kind of messing
You're
up. I don't
good.
know if you could hear me. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm wonderful as well. Thank you for asking. So, why would I vote for Trump? And I would vote for Trump because I know once we put him back in power, once he's president again, I sincerely do believe that Trump is going to start drilling oil enough to, and he's going to do it personally, enough to minimize gas prices. Why is that funny?
He's gonna personally drill the oil. He's gonna go out there.
Yes. And he's going to drop my gas prices back to $1.75.
That's right.
And
That's
I also believe that he is going to march down to the Federal Reserve and he's going to tell them to reduce inflation rates so my groceries can go back to
Now,
normal.
is he for sure gonna march, or will he drive or walk?
I believe he's gonna walk, just so he
Okay,
can
well,
make
you
a
said
statement.
march, so now you're backing
March
off that. Now
down, meaning he's going to be so angry about it, right? So
Yeah.
he's gonna go and he's gonna tell them to reduce inflation rates so my groceries can go back to normal.
I think you meant interest rates. I'm assuming, right? Not
Interest
inflation.
rates,
Not
that's
inflation.
what it
Yeah,
is.
there it
That's
is.
what it is.
There it is.
Okay. And, because I don't understand. On top of that, he's going to start building the wall back again. So
That's right. He
Right.
got almost 15 miles done the first time. If he lives for another 100 years or so, we might get that wall up. Well, he'd also have to be president for another 100 years, but
No, he could get it done. Give him 2 months and he's
Well,
going to get that wall done.
I mean, it just seems like last time he had 4 years and he got 14 miles. Is he going to do the wall himself?
Yes, him and Republicans too. We're going to rally behind him. We just got
Now,
to find the right
Are
material.
you
We're
going to
gonna
lay
build the
bricks,
wall.
or what are you going to use for the material for the wall?
Whatever they give us, whatever. He has a lot of money. So look at all
He
his
does have a lot. Oh,
businesses.
so he's going to pay for it himself.
Yes, right?
That
So,
makes sense.
and we're also going to go to Congress and ask him for money to kind of help
Ask
us.
him. Whoa! Why you
Ask
just gender? You
them,
just
ask
gendered
Congress.
Congress a him? How dare you?
I don't believe in gender. I think
Well, you said him.
that's not gender. That's a word. That's close, but him is a word. It's not a gender. So I don't believe in gender, and I don't believe that we should be forcing that on our kids.
You don't? Do you believe that the Earth is round or flat?
Whatever Trump believes, I believe. So if Trump believes the world is
Whatever
round,
dear
then it's
leader
round.
believes. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm wasting your panel time, but I kind of want to make the situation a little funny. I'm not
Thank you.
Republican. Please do not come for me. This is a joke. This is a joke.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. I hope everyone
Bye.
has a wonderful day.
You too. Those aren't the worst. Those aren't actually even the worst arguments I've heard. That's kind of sad. It took me a minute, but when I heard that he's going to drill it himself, that's when I knew. But it was pretty good. How long were you guys duped by that? When Dark Snuggles still there in the box there. Dark Snuggles would like to chat some more, it appears. Let's see. Not the marching. Yeah, not the marching. Where did we go? I was on Newsmax and I got distracted. See what Newsmax is upset about. Trump's opening statement. Is this right? He made his fortune being right. Let's see if I get this. Where is it? He has made a fortune literally being right about real estate investments. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if you guys know this about Donald Trump's business, but largely what they are now is, there we go, turn that mic up a little bit. Largely they just do brand deals, right? It's just marketing. They have a hard time obtaining construction loans. They have a hard time finding people who want to work with them. And so most of what Trump's done in the last decade or so has just been licensing. Like the Trump name still had a good reputation, so other people would build it, and he just put his name on it. They're just all licensing agreements. What has Biden done? I'm from Delaware. Well, looks like he's been a senator for a long time. I did not know. This is the first time I'm finding out you guys had internet in Delaware, though. So congrats on that. That's terrific. Wait until you see some of these like electric cars and stuff. It's pretty wild. I'm not from Delaware. Sorry, I was reading a comment. I am not from Delaware. Thank you, by the way, for the gifts. Cleared some corn out. Does Delaware grow a lot of corn? Don't know much about Delaware. All right. We're trying to get Letitia James now disbarred. What else we got here by Newsmax? What's it? Trump, no crime, no victim. Supreme Court rejects election bid to disqualify Trump 24. Nothing. There's no news today. This is wild. All right, let's go. We can head over to Fox. I paid Russia and China back by using his office. That's true. They did get some benefits there. I believe Delaware literally has 3 counties. Is that real? Do they really? Let's do talk crime. What would you like to talk about with crime? Anybody who wants to talk about crime can talk about it. We can talk about what leads to crime. We probably wouldn't want to do that, though, right? We wouldn't want to look at like the actual indicators of crime, because if we got into the real indicators of crime, then we'd probably have to be like, oh, wait, it wasn't Joe Biden that did everything. It wasn't all Joe Biden's fault. So we probably don't want to do that, right? Wouldn't want to do that. Poverty, wealth inequality, lack of access to jobs that pay a living wage. Yeah. Wonder where crime comes from. Trying to find this. I'm actually trying to find a link somebody sent me there. No, that's not it. Where is it? Somebody sent me that Google Doc. I think you guys know which one I'm talking about. Can't find it. That's a bummer. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. You're right. It's absolutely not that simple. But you know what's definitely not that simple? Just saying like whoever the president is the reason for really any particular crime issue. That it is simple to say it's not that. It is. See if I can find this. I don't know where that went. If anybody knows Jovan's document, somebody sent it to me once. I had it, but I can't find it now. There was no crime under Trump. 0. There were not any crimes. What would you like to talk about with Staten Island? What do I need to know about Staten Island? Let's find the news source. We can just play a game today where Trumpers, if they don't want to come up, they can just say shit in the comments, and they'll say like, "What about Staten Island?" And then we'll just tell everybody the truth of what happened. Fireworks sparked Staten Island shooting where man was injured. A disagreement between neighbors over fireworks allegedly sparked a shooting where a man was injured in Eltingville early on Sunday morning. Okay. Dominic Giordano, and I don't want to pay to read that. Okay. Sounds like a guy got in a fight with his neighbor and shot him. It sounds like that guy's not a very good neighbor. And that's got to be Joe Biden's fault, right? That's Joe Biden. Joe Biden should have outlawed fireworks. Then we wouldn't have this problem. Don't you guys? How's open borders working for us? Well, we don't have open borders, but who said Green Goblin? Let's see. Is Green Goblin in the news? I don't see a lot of news, but I appreciate you asking. Green Goblin. That's the guy that William Dafoe plays, right? Isn't that Green Goblin in Spider-Man? I might be wrong about that. Did Trump open his 1 billion GoFundMe? Joe Biden made me stub my toe. That's tough. Most New Yorkers do not claim Staten Island, except for Wu-Tang. There you go. Thank you, Jen. You're wonderful. Thanks for the link. That's what I was looking for. Fuel prices under Biden. We could talk about fuel prices if you want. I can get to those in a minute. But you do also have to tell me what that has to do with Joe Biden. You have to then link it to like something specifically he did. And I'm just telling you in advance, you're going to have a hard time like that. You can't honestly say you like Biden. I do like Biden. Do I wish he would step down at the end of this term? Certainly. But I do like him. I mean, like in the news today, there was a story today in the news about, I guess I hate saying the news. That makes me sound like an old guy. What was his name? Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's still doing concerts at 82. I mean, I think it's possible to be functional. Harrison Ford, didn't he just do an Indiana Jones movie? He's like 80. It's not super easy. If you're going to show me that Joe Biden, like, nobody can show me anything that I've seen. No, let's change that. I haven't seen anything that would tell me Joe Biden isn't capable of doing the job. I've seen stuff of Joe Biden making gaffes, but he certainly isn't worried about World War II coming. He certainly isn't worried about windmills taking out wells. So I think if I'm choosing between the two, like one guy thinks that windmills are washing up 3 wells a week, and the other guy doesn't. And again, that's just news I heard. I don't know if he actually believes that. That's just news I heard. TikTok, educational purposes only. What was I looking up on the sources? If he goes, administration goes. Yeah, his administration's great. One dude looks directly at solar eclipses. Wells are washing up in Oklahoma. Because you know so much about wind. Good point. When Satan, what do we got here? When Satan is trying to take over you, vote for the other guy. All right. Fair enough. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I've gained more respect for Joe Biden since he became president. Same. I'm a much bigger fan of Joe Biden now than I was when I voted for him. Sean Patrick coming in 15 minutes. Thanks, Sean. Sorry, I was lazy on the topic today, by the way. How'd you guys? What'd you guys do this weekend? We can talk about that. Do you support the WEF? Yeah, I do support the WEF generally. Yeah, I don't know what that means though. Like, do I support them? I don't support them financially. But if you want to come talk about the World Economic Forum, we can do that. Oh, might have worked. All right, well, fuck it, we got time. Hi, Rosebud.
Hello.
What's going on? What's going on with you?
Can we bury the hatchet? Let's bury the hatchet, all right?
Well, my question is why? Why would I bury the hatchet?
Because the reason I was angry or lashing out at you is because you did that to me when I first came on your show, didn't you?
I didn't do anything to you.
Well, okay. So, what were you asking me when I first came on the show, right?
I have no idea.
Right, because you don't remember, do you?
Yeah, I do this every day for like 3.5 hours. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember every single person I spoke to.
So what I wanted to mention is the reason Snuggles is trying to say that Biden committed crime is because there was a statement from 2017 when Joe wasn't even in government.
Yeah, I already covered that. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I just wondered if you wanted to Like you show up, you keep. As soon as I kick you, you're going to be in my DMs again, talking about how you reported me and how I'm
No,
such a
man,
bad guy.
I'm not gonna do that. No.
All right. Well, here's the deal,
I was
Rosebud.
sour
Here's the
grapes
deal, Rosebud.
because
When you're on good
okay, go
behavior,
ahead.
when you're on good behavior for a couple weeks, maybe we can talk about your platform. But until then, I don't really want to platform you. Is that cool?
Fine, no
Okay.
problem.
All right. See ya.
All right, see you.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what that's about. All right. Oh, somebody's saying they won't come up because I'll mute them. I can let anybody in that requests Daddy Trump, but I can't just like let you in. You have to send a request. You may not have enough followers for that. Good riddance, lady. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I still don't really know the deal with Rosebud. I don't really care. I know that like I haven't met somebody that's like, yeah, that's somebody we should listen to. But she's upset at me because she thinks it's a little bit. She has the same idea as Marianne Williamson. She thinks that running for office means that you just automatically get respect and that you should be treated differently. You should not. In fact, you should in many ways be like pushed a lot harder. Danielle, welcome. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, I'm not opposition, but
Okay,
I saw you didn't have anyone in the box, so
come on up.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm glad the government did not shut down. It was
That's
definitely a
great
relief.
news. That's great news. Yeah.
And the you obviously watched the impeachment inquiry.
I've watched most of it.
Yeah, the Democrats did an amazing job. Like,
They didn't really have to do much other than just like repeat the evidence that was given and explain how it wasn't evidence.
yeah, I don't know. It really backfired. All these keep backfiring in Republicans' faces, which is enjoyable.
Yeah, it's going to be
But
a boot. It'll be a nice boost to Biden, I think. I actually think Biden will get a voting bump here.
yeah, and as far as Biden goes, I know everybody's like so concerned about his age. And, of course, yes, he's older, and obviously we probably would prefer someone younger. But like I was saying, his administration is really good. Like it's full of very capable people. And if he goes away, I'm pretty sure they all go away too, right? I mean, unless it was like another Democrat, then maybe they would keep the people that he's appointed in power. But isn't it usually when the outgoing president, all of their administration goes
Oh,
with
I mean
them?
Trump, yeah, and especially Trump. He doesn't work. He doesn't want to have a transition team. He would get rid of literally every single person Joe Biden put into place. No questions. Historically, presidents as they've transitioned, like they put in their people, but a lot of times they'll keep people on. Like Fauci, for example, he stayed on for a lot of administrations. But Trump would fire everybody that Biden appointed. There's no way he'd keep a single one. He's so vindictive and he just wants people there that are going to just say yes, 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 yes. So he would fire everybody immediately.
Yeah, and I think that'd be the case for any Republican president, right? I mean, at this
No, I
point,
think if it was Chris Christie or Nikki Haley, people who've worked in government who have like friendships or at least relationships across the aisle, I think that they would probably look at the qualifications of the person. I think you wouldn't see as much turnover if somebody, but if it was like Vivek or Ron DeSantis, they're literally running on like Democrats are evil, so they can't have Democrats around them. They couldn't have Joe Biden people around him when they are pretending he's like this criminal mastermind that's using his office to enrich himself.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But my last thing also, as far as like Biden, Biden's been in office for a really long time. He was in the Senate forever. And obviously we've had all these investigations into him, which just shows how not corrupt he actually is. And also the relationships that he has, like, I don't know, I think those played a big role in rallying the world to get behind Ukraine. And I just feel like when I voted for Biden, I was voting against Trump. I wasn't super excited to vote for Biden. I was obviously relieved, when he got elected, but then he really he did a lot,
Yeah.
that I didn't think he was going to get even half of what he got done.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't know. I just want people to really try to focus on that and maybe watch him in his speeches. Like, he's very capable. You know what I mean? Like, it takes, especially with somebody with a stutter, for example, he really has to think about what he's saying before he says it. And that takes cognitive ability. You know what I mean? Like, he's not some demented old man, like, for example, Trump, you know? So I don't know. It just really has been pissing me off lately when people are like, oh, you know, he's so old and we need someone younger. And it's like, okay, fine. But you have Kamala Harris to fall back on. And Biden seems, you know, or not seems, he's showing us that he's capable. So
Yeah. No, I agree with all that.
all right, sweetheart. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
letting me come up.
Yes,
You
I
guys
know.
have a good day.
We'll see it. Bye.
All right, bye.
Danielle got some people into the box though. Stick to Rula. These are looking suspicious, but that's all right. When they all show up at once, this is probably one of those opportunities where they just roll through lives. Traditional tattoo. By the way, just looking for opposition right now, if we could. Traditional tattoo. They are. I think so too. Hey, morning.
Yeah, how's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
So not bad. So first of all, I will let everybody know that I 100% don't agree with everything that Trump has done. I don't 100% believe that everything Biden has done has been bad. However, I do think that something that you mentioned and the young lady that was right before me mentioned is you talk about Trump and his mistakes when he's giving speeches, but when the same is said about Biden, whether he stutters or not, his mumbo jumbo is the same thing. Okay. I also find it strange.
Yeah, that was the point though. Hold on. The point of me bringing that up was in response to somebody saying like Biden has gaffes, and I was saying essentially exactly what you're saying. Is like, okay, if you want to talk about that, talk about both. You'll never actually hear me making those comments about the gaffes because I don't think they're very important. The only time you ever hear me really bring that up is when somebody's mocking Biden. I'm like, okay, well, if you care about gaffes, then you better care about all the gaffes.
Right, and that's the thing that you'll have some people on both sides, but from seeing it from both areas, and just to let you know, I live in Colorado. There are a ton of liberal people, Colorado being liberal, who are seeing the faults of Joe Biden, just like they saw the faults of Donald Trump. However, you guys attacking Donald Trump, and then when somebody does the same thing to Biden, you guys go after them.
Could you give me an example of like an attack that you felt was unfair on Donald Trump that maybe we ran cover for Biden?
Let's say all the corruption. Okay, no matter what anybody says. Okay?
No.
Hold on. More, all the corruption.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. We got it. No. Hold on.
You never let anybody finish their sentence.
And there's a reason for that. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. I'm just asking. I'm asking you a question to clarify.
Once again,
because what I asked is. Okay, shush. I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak.
Dude,
shush.
This is your problem, bro.
I know.
You never let anybody finish.
Just stop. I'm asking you a clarifying question so we can go on.
You asked me.
So the question I'm asking, you're muted. I need something specific. When you say all the corruption, you and I can't have a conversation about that. We can't have a conversation about something that isn't specific. So you can unmute now, but I asked for something specific and you said all the corruption. I'm just asking you to pick something specific. You're going to have to unmute. You're going to have to unmute because I muted you. You may not know how to unmute.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right. What I was going to say, sir, is before you didn't even let me finish my response to your question before you started asking me. I was saying all the corruption, and then I was going to go into a particular. So one thing I would recommend you as a host...
Just go into the fucking particulars. I don't need your advice right now. I don't need your advice. Go into the particulars. Go to the particulars.
Okay.
Go to the particulars.
Ukraine. Everybody was about a phone call with Ukraine. Bad phone call with Ukraine on Trump. But then you have Biden literally holding up $1 billion. It doesn't matter what it was for. It's in there. He says it on live TV that he's going to withhold money from Ukraine. Okay,
Right.
everybody is okay with that for Biden doing it.
Correct.
But when Trump asked for somebody to look into what was happening with Biden and Ukraine, that was
Correct.
what started the impeachment. There's
Correct.
no difference. There's
No,
no
there's a
difference.
huge difference. Can I
How's
explain the
there a
difference?
difference? Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I'd gladly explain the difference.
Okay.
Number one, when Biden threatened to withhold money from Ukraine, there's a lot of facts. Number one, he didn't have the authority to do that. Actually, that authority rested with Obama. So he was
Doesn't
just
matter. He said he
so
could.
let me remember.
Doesn't matter. He said he
Oh,
could.
so you can interrupt now. Okay, because
Yeah,
I said there's
you
a couple.
interrupt all
I
the
said
time.
there's a couple. I
Yes.
said there's a couple points here.
Okay,
So
okay, there's point number one, and it's
so
wrong.
I'm just explaining the differences, not whether or not they matter. I'm explaining the differences. Okay.
No, but they do matter.
So
I don't care what the
number
differences are.
number one is that Biden didn't have that authority. Number two, Biden had the backing of the president. He had the backing of our intelligence community. He had the backing largely of Congress. He had the backing of our allies, and he also had the backing of Ukraine. Right? Everybody was doing this together,
No,
and he was the
incorrect.
messenger. Now on the Trump side,
You're incorrect.
Trump had
You are
on the
incorrect.
Trump side,
You
on
are
the Trump
incorrect
side.
about that.
Well, I'll let
are
you correct it in a
incorrect.
second. Then you can
Okay.
correct it in a second. I'll give you a chance.
Okay.
On the Trump side, Trump had the backing of Trump, and he was withholding aid past the legal amount of time he was allowed to. So not only was he doing something kind of fishy, but he was also holding congressionally appropriated aid past when he was allowed to.
Okay, so now I get to. So you said that Biden couldn't do that because only President Obama did. What was Trump when he did that? He was the president, so he has the authority to withhold money, even if it's congressionally approved. So what Trump did was not illegal.
No, so
Yes,
there's
he does.
no, there's
Yes,
no.
Trump-
You
Trump
wait, hold
has
on,
the
hold on,
right
hold
to
on,
hold it.
hold on.
Yes, he does, dude.
So our government, no, but just listen. Our government has checks and balances, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when Congress appropriates aid, I want to say it's 6 months. When Congress appropriates aid, the president has, it's either 3 months or 6 months in order to release those funds. Now, if he doesn't want to release those funds, he has to reject them and send it back to Congress. But he didn't do any of that. He didn't reject the funds. He just kept trying to get dirt on Joe Biden, and he kept it past the time he was allowed to. That's what flagged the inquiry. And then you had a whistleblower report on top of that. So there were two things that flagged it.
So now you're going to talk about
you have
Vindman.
two
No,
things.
no,
You have
hold on.
two things.
Okay.
You have two. I haven't finished yet. There's two things that
perfect.
flagged it. Number one, he held it past the time he was allowed to hold it. And number two, a whistleblower who was a lieutenant colonel in the army, I think
Correct.
army,
Correct.
said, "Hey, this is fishy." So that launched the, "Hey, let's look into this."
Correct. And so, did you watch his when he was in Congress, in front of Congress? Did you hear him say? I think it was over 15 times that in his opinion, it was
Yeah.
in his opinion. It
Correct.
was he didn't have a law that was broken. There was
No.
He
No.
had,
Wait, hold
in
on.
his
Hold on.
opinion, No.
His
no,
opinion. Wait, hold on.
I've
His
read it.
opinion was. We have to state correctly what his opinion was. In his opinion, he thought Donald Trump was trying to use that money to get dirt.
Correct. In his opinion.
Vindman did not whistleblow on the amount of time Trump kept the money. Vindman wasn't a witness in that aspect. Vindman's only
Yeah, he
expertise.
was.
Vindman's
You
only
just said
expertise.
it.
No, hold
You
on.
just said it.
Vindman's only expertise was
Dude,
what he
you-
believed Trump was
you
trying to
just-
do.
Right,
What
to
Trump
withhold the money.
shushies,
To withhold the
shushies,
money. No,
shush,
no,
shush.
you-
Oh,
you-
okay.
you
Well, I'll mute you then. So Vindman was just saying that Trump was using that money to try and get dirt. That was the only part of Vindman's testimony. The rest of the stuff you don't need testimony for because we have calendars. Now you can go.
The whole premise of the first impeachment was based off of what Colonel Vindman did. Everything, that whole
No, that's
impeachment
incorrect.
was bullshit. It was.
No,
Dude,
it's
he
not.
was-
It's no. It
he
was also
the
no. It was
main
also
focus.
flagged because
He
it was held too
the
long.
main
Those were the
focus,
two
dude.
things. There
It
were
was
two
the main
things.
focus.
Two.
And the thing that both and Trump could do that. Trump can withhold it. You're not telling the
Not-
whole story.
not
Yes,
past
he
the-
can.
no, he held it
Yes,
for too
he
long.
Can, dude. Yes,
No, he can, but he has a
Let me
limit.
ask
He has
you
a
this.
time
Let
limit.
me-
No,
let me
shut
ask
up.
you this.
He has
No,
a time
let me
limit.
ask you this.
I'm
Let
going to
me
mute
ask
you
you
again.
this.
Okay. So he has a time limit. How long can the president withhold congressional funds? Now you can ask your questions and unmute while I'm looking that up. You're muted.
Dude, I just find it funny. You don't even know. You're supposed. You have all this information. Hold on.
45 days.
Information.
45 days.
Before
45 days.
Hold on. Before.
Yeah, I got the number wrong. I said I thought it was either 3 months or 6 months, and it's 45. It's actually less time.
So, dude, you don't even know this, and you don't.
You didn't even know this was a rule, Shush. No, you don't get to like back out of this by saying you didn't know the exact days. You didn't know this existed. I got the days wrong, and I'm admitting that I got the days wrong. I haven't looked at this for a very long time. Now, that still means he held it past 45 days. That's what triggered one part, and the other part was Lieutenant Colonel Vindman saying, I think he was using that aid to try and get favors politically. Those are the two things that sparked the investigation, or I guess impeachment inquiry.
All right, perfect. And let's see, was he impeached? No.
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't proven.
Wait, he was impeached.
He was put up for impeachment. He was not impeached.
I gotta teach you something. I gotta help you with something. I gotta help you with something. No. I gotta help you with something. I gotta help you with something. I gotta help you with something here. You don't know what impeachment means.
Yes, I do.
Okay, now I gotta mute you again because you won't shut up and listen. You get impeached in the House of Representatives. They do it by a vote. Then once you're impeached, the vote goes to the Senate, and the Senate can vote to remove you. Impeachment is not being removed. Impeachment is the process that sends a vote to the Senate on whether or not they want to remove you. So he was impeached twice, just like Bill Clinton was also impeached. Impeachment does not mean removal. This is something you should have learned in like 10th grade. But go ahead, you can unmute now.
Dude, you're using semantics. Being impeached would be removed from office.
You said he wasn't impeached.
Look it up. It says
he was impeached
he
twice.
Was not impeached. Was he left in office? Then he wasn't impeached. The same thing with Bill Clinton.
No,
Bill
wait, no.
No, listen,
no,
hold on.
No,
they were
put
up for
You're getting muted again. You're getting muted again. Now listen with your ears. You get impeached in Congress, okay? That is called impeachment. If they vote to impeach you, you have been impeached. It's essentially a slap on the wrist. Once you are impeached, you go to the Senate, and the Senate decides whether or not to remove you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're actually trying to argue semantics with things you don't understand. Now you can unmute.
Dude, that's not how it is.
That's exactly how it is, and I know that's exactly how it is. Everybody knows that. No, you're not worth continuing until you can admit that you don't know what impeachment is.
Dude, I've told you.
Explain impeachment. What is impeachment?
He was put up for impeachment. He was
impeached. He was impeached.
No, if he was impeached, he would be removed from office. That's the final step.
No, that's when you get removed from office. It's a different process.
He was put up for impeachment twice. He was not
incorrect.
Impeached. Yes.
No, he was impeached twice. You don't know what you're talking about. You're too dumb for this. You're too dumb for this, dude.
Funny, dude.
Honest
to
God,
like
this,
bro.
every single person, every single 10th grader in the country knows this.
You would never say this.
You're on here arguing. You're on here arguing.
The stuff you say on this, you would never say to somebody's face. That's the thing.
I would say all of this to your face. I have no problem saying this to your face, and now you're going to be a tough guy. Now you're going to be a tough guy. So you can come see me anytime you want, and when you see me, I'm going to say, go back to 10th grade and learn what our fucking government does, because you have no idea. None. Impeachment is only in the House. Only. Once it leaves the House, it's no longer impeachment. You don't know what you're talking about, and this is the problem with MAGA. You guys are so goddamn sure that you're right when you're blatantly wrong, and you have no ability to just recognize.
Dude, you're the same thing. You do the same thing.
I know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't, dude. No, you don't.
I'm right.
You're right on everything. You're right on everything.
This, yeah, so, on this for sure.
So there. Okay, I'll give this to you. You're correct. Okay.
Thank you.
So I don't think that he was impeached. I think he went through.
Well, then you're stupid.
Process.
I don't know what to tell you. He was impeached.
Now you're calling me names. I'm trying to explain to you what I thought.
Yes, he was impeached.
I'm telling you, I think he went through the impeachment process. Hey, hold on, dude. I'm trying to explain you my thought process.
I don't care. You're wrong. I don't care what your thought process is.
Dude. You want
your opinion to matter so much. Just be more educated.
Dude, I just told you.
Was he impeached? Yes or no? Was he impeached?
dude, no. I don't
Okay,
think
then
so.
you're wrong.
Okay, so I'm wrong. There.
There you go.
I'll tell you that you're wrong. Okay, but the funny thing is
No,
you'll
wait,
never,
you
you're
are
never
wrong.
wrong, dude.
No,
Okay,
you are
there,
wrong.
I'm
I
giving
know.
it to you there.
You're
There
never
you go,
wrong.
buddy.
How
You're
come you're
wrong.
never
You're
wrong? Because
wrong.
all of your friends don't know what they're talking about, and it's really
Bullshit,
easy to
dude.
be right talking to you people
Bullshit.
because you never have any
No,
facts right at all.
Bro, you are
Bro.
so far-fetched. All you want to do is argue with people, and then when people
You're in a
bring up
tire
fact,
shop right now arguing with me. Shut up. You're arguing too. The
I
only
just-
difference here,
I
the
just
only
told
difference
you-
is
I
I'm
just
right and
told
you don't know what
that
you're
I was-
talking about.
Bro, I just told you that I was wrong. I'll look at it in your perspective. And
So
I'll
was
say
he
that it was
impeached?
fine. If you want me to say
No,
that,
was he
for
impeached?
your-
Not fine. If
for
I
you,
want
for
to
you.
answer the question.
In your
Was he
opinion,
impeached?
He was impeached. Yes, in your opinion,
Okay.
he was impeached.
No.
Yes, in your
Was he
opinion, was
impeached? Was he
Yes.
impeached?
In your opinion, he was
Okay.
impeached.
Have a good one. You are
what I thought.
you're not educated enough for this. Like if you can't admit that you're wrong about that, literally every Republican would agree with me there. That's just like a you being wrong thing. That's not even a like nobody would argue that. That's crazy. That's a crazy hill to die on right there.
Hello? Can you
Hi,
hear
good morning.
me? Good morning. Can you hear me?
No, I cannot. Can we get rid of that person, please? That is not a person that was old enough to be on here. All right, Tommy. Please, guys, just opposition mostly in the comment or in the guest box, please. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, oh God, I'm not opposition. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I just was trying to get in the box with that guy, and
I don't really do that. I always just
I know
do
you
1v1.
don't. I know you don't.
Yeah,
I know
sorry.
you don't. But it was driving me so crazy to listen to someone who does. I learned that in my 9th grade history class, American history, that when you are impeached, they do it in Congress, and then if you are removed, it's in the Senate. It's a simple thing.
Article 1, Section 2.
Yes.
The House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment. That's what it says word for word. They have the sole power of impeachment.
Yes. Yeah. I don't understand. Go ahead. You can get some more potatoes in.
All right,
Thanks,
Tommy.
RPD.
Appreciate it. And by the way, like you don't even get acquitted. Anybody who's saying acquitted, what are you talking about? Wasn't acquitted. That's also not how this works. Like how can all of them be wrong? How can all you guys be wrong all the time? It's crazy. Again, if you're in the box and you're not opposition, please hop out real quick. I'll give you like 10 seconds and then we'll go from there. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday to you. There we go. All right, Alexis, you're next. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm not very much like a Republican, but I'm also not a liberal, right? I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay.
But recently here, I've been leaning more towards a Republican standpoint for the simple fact of I'm a very much in economy first and our country first, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't agree with the way, like, I want more of a limited government and we don't spend as much money giving it to other countries like we have been, backing Ukraine, obviously.
So I'm a little confused. You said like the economy is the thing that's most important to you, and then you just mentioned a bunch of stuff that didn't have to do with the economy. So do you have issues with like what do you think the Republicans would have done differently to make this economy better?
I think we would have been more of an energy independent country.
How would we have done that?
Fracking.
Fracking. Do you know that we're drilling more oil now than at any time during Trump's presidency?
Are you sure about that?
100%.
So you're telling me that the Democratic Party is okay with it now, but they weren't whenever Trump was a president?
No, we're okay that we're doing it. We're doing it differently. That doesn't mean we're doing fracking. And actually, a lot of liberals, like, we don't like that we're drilling this much. We don't like it. But we kind of understand that, like, we came out of a global pandemic. We understand that fossil fuels are still being used. And if we just get off them immediately, prices would be too high and people wouldn't be able to afford it. So, but yeah, we actually are drilling more than we did during the Trump presidency. And because of green energy advancements and getting more solar, more wind, more energy efficient vehicles, energy efficient homes, we're actually like we actually are more energy independent now from that standpoint than we were at any time during the Trump presidency. So we're drilling more oil and we have more green energy. So we're actually becoming more and more energy independent with Joe Biden than we would have under Republicans, who would likely have opposed most of this.
Right. I get that. I also just think we're very highly taxed right now.
Well,
And I don't know
taxes.
if that.
Well, Joe Biden didn't change any taxes, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's necessarily Joe Biden's doing, Congress is
In fact,
doing,
well,
Senate's
in fact,
doing.
the only people who increased taxes, Trump gave a tax cut to the middle class and rich people, basically, and the
Right.
tax for the middle class expired. So now their taxes went up, but the taxes for the rich, those didn't expire. They kept those ones in place. So Republicans care a lot about rich people, but very little about everybody else.
I agree with that to a certain standpoint, but I also just I was listening earlier, but I had to hop off for 2 seconds when you were talking about crime, and I think with crime, I think it is kind of a like what you grew up doing. You know, like if you grew up in a poor household, you're more likely to commit crime, right?
Right.
Because you grew up around it, right? At the same time, I think it's always people enabling that kind of behavior. Like if we're like trying to, when we're saying, oh well, you know, I understand why they did it. They grew up in a poor household. I think that's us enabling other people to do stuff like that as a country.
See, this is a problem I have with Republican ideology in general. There's always this idea that addressing something and just saying like, oh, this is the reality, like that if people grow up poor, they're more likely to commit crime. Instead of saying like, okay, well, what could we do to make sure that like less people are poor? If less people were poor, and we know, then less people will commit crime. But Republicans, instead of doing that, they're like, oh, well, that may be true, but we're enabling them by telling them that. It's like education is the scariest thing in the world for Republicans. Don't educate people on what happened. Don't do that, because then it's going to enable them. Because it tells you everything you need to know. Republicans don't want to do anything about the fact that people are poor, and that when people are poor, they tend to commit more crimes. They don't want to do anything about that. So they just want to pretend it doesn't exist so they don't have to address it. They don't want to understand, they don't want to address the fact that in many of these places where people are poor, there are industries there where people outside of that community are filthy rich and are making money off the backs of the working poor's labor. They don't want to address any of that. So what they say instead is, oh, we have to take personal accountability. Well, you can't legislate personal accountability. It doesn't work that way.
How do you, I guess, how does a Democrat think we would live? How do you think we could become more of a wealth for everybody?
Yeah, well, you could do a lot of things, but the main thing you have to do is, you understand how our financial system works. We print money, right? The money goes into circulation. That money is meant to circulate. That's the whole point of the money. That's what keeps the economy afloat and strong, is that when the money keeps circulating. The problem we have is when money stops circulating. And the issue that we're having is the money largely just goes to the top and it stays there. It doesn't come back down. So in order to get more money into the hands of people at the bottom, you either have to extract that money from the top, bring it back down and circulate it, or you have to put more money in, right? Well, Republicans, they're not going to touch this shit up here. So they're just going to say, like, you got to print money. I don't know what Republicans' argument is. They complain that the government prints too much money, but the government has to print money because it's stuck at the top, right? Like it's like have you seen those things where like the flying suits, like, or have you ever seen somebody getting one of those like it's like that thing that blows the air, the air like blows the money up, right? And they're trying to grab it and put it in their clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now imagine that's what's happening, right? So the money's blowing up and you're trying to grab it. Well, if you stop the flow of money, then there's nothing to grab, right? And the money at the top, because the wind is blowing up there, it's just going to stay there. We have to get a mechanism to pull the money back down. So you have to do, there's a lot of things you could do, but the first thing you have to do is tax that money, because they're not going to hand it over voluntarily. So you have 100%. To figure out ways to tax that money to bring it back into circulation. The other thing you have to do is incentivize people that at a certain point, it makes more sense to invest back in their business than it does to hoard that money or take on investor money or like worry about their stock price. We've incentivized stock prices way too much in our economy. So much so that like our 401ks, our retirement, it's all connected to stock prices. In Florida, they basically rated people's retirements. The what do we call the not union workers? What am I trying to say? The government employees. We've rated their retirements, and we put them in public funds, and those public funds were really underperforming. Right? The private market is not going to take care of this on itself, because the private market, especially now with investors and stock prices, everybody's incentivized to just push that money up. And while we're doing it, like even now, you're seeing people that 6 years ago, 8 years ago, $100,000 was enough to live in most places. Now, in really any big city, $100,000, you're kind of just like paycheck to paycheck.
100%.
Yeah,
I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's just one of those things that I think there's just such a divide between Republicans and Democrats right now that it's kind of sad, and it's making it hard for everyone to get ahead.
I agree.
Basically killing yourself.
I agree with that, but I would just ask you if you recognize that the Republicans they're not going to do anything about any of this. Like, how do we get that messaging across differently without criticizing it? And how do we get the Republicans to tell you guys the truth? How do we get them to tell you like what are causing these problems? Because every time I turn on the TV, it's like, oh, there was a car crash on the 101, Joe Biden's America.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, news media, like main news medias, are just gonna push an agenda, whether it's a Democratic agenda or Republican agenda, right?
No.
There's no one that's fully independent.
No, that's incorrect.
You don't think so?
I don't think to the extent that you're saying it does. I think that that's largely been done on the right. But then Fox News started getting sued because Fox News went too far. Now, there's certainly spin. Everybody has their political leanings. MSNBC is going to spin things. CNN's going to spin things. Fox historically has spun things. But it wasn't until Trump that outlets just started outright lying, like consistently. And Fox, OAN, Newsmax, they do it with impunity. They don't care. They're literally lying to, like, the hosts are going on and saying things that they know aren't true. And they're, like, emailing back and forth about it later. Like, yeah, we know this isn't true, but unfortunately, like, we have a stock price to worry about. You can go read the emails between Fox News. You can see how they were just openly lying to their audience. And they said, we have to do it because our audience will go somewhere else if we start telling them the truth. Right. That's never happened you can't show me a time that's happened on the left.
Right.
Somebody just said CNN's pretty centered. CNN is really, really trying right now to be like the middle ground. They're really trying to be like the center. We're going to tell you both sides, which is great. But if that's the only place that's even remotely balanced at this point is CNN. And they're still left, but they're trying to be balanced.
Yeah, I was going to say they are very much still left. Not as much as they were, maybe 2-3 years ago, but because they've definitely started to make their way back towards the center, just giving people the real stuff. But, like you said, it's still a historically left wing group, and it's just people being hard-headed and not wanting to listen to both sides of things. Like I said, I'm more conservative than I am Democratic, but I like to listen to both sides of things because I think that that's the only way you get the real stuff. There's always three sides to a story. There's two lies, your side, my side, and the truth, right?
Yeah.
And I just,
except for sometimes one side is also telling the truth, though. I mean,
I'm sure a little bit.
Everybody always says that, but it's not always true. Like sometimes they're just telling the truth. Like when CNN was accused of lying about the riots on January 6th, they were just showing footage, and then they got accused by right wing media of like lying for showing footage. They're just showing what's going on. And in that case, there is no like they're not lying. It's a video camera showing you what's happening.
Right. And then I agree with that to a certain extent. At the end of the day, I think it's just our country being so divided and being so like you can either be far left or far right. There's no in between.
Well, I think I understand that rhetoric goes around. I agree that a lot of people think that way, but I do think there's a middle ground. Like for you, there's nothing. Like, what do you do for work?
So I started working for a landscape company when I was 18, and I was just a regular laborer, and now I'm running an entire department.
Awesome. Well done, first of all. So you're like managing like landscape teams?
I'm managing installations of pools, turf, putting
Okay.
greens, you name it, we do it.
Okay, cool. So if you're looking out for not only the best interests of you and the best interests of all the people that work there,
Right.
I think it'd be hard for you to vote Republican, right? I don't know how big your landscaping company is. If it's really, really big, and the owner is making great money, then maybe he might get the benefit from voting Republican. But for you, like voting Democrat means for you and your workers, you'll have more protections. They're going to advocate that the person that you work for protects you. And sometimes you have a good owner, sometimes you don't. And so we do have to have those protections in place. They're also going to advocate that the people who are making all the money or making the greatest sum of the money are going to pay their fair share. They're also advocating that you guys and your workers, like I'd imagine you're just the regular, like the team that comes in, the installation crew. Like how much do they make hourly?
Most
Roughly.
of my guys don't make anything less than $20 an hour.
Okay, so is 20 like the
It's
average?
between $20 and $30 an hour.
$20 and $30 an hour. Okay.
That's the low end. My high end is 30. Yep.
Okay. And do you guys offer benefits?
We do.
Okay. But not
like health
not
insurance, dental insurance, that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. So if you voted for Democrats, let's say the Democrats were able to accomplish the things that they want. Let's say somebody like Bernie Sanders. Your business would no longer have to worry about taking care of health insurance for your entire crew. If you had somebody in your crew that got hurt, for example, they could go right then. You could take them to a hospital. They could get the care that they needed. They wouldn't have to worry about like, oh, am I gonna miss work? Because you'd also have unemployment protection, and you wouldn't have to worry about like, how am I gonna pay my deductible? I have a $12,000 deductible. I can't get hurt. There's no deductible. There's no copay. For you guys as a business, that means your workers are happier. Means your workers are healthier. It means their families are taken care of. And that if they do get hurt, like your business isn't going to be the one that's has their insurance rates go up, which affects everybody because now they use them. You don't have workers who are making $20 or $30 an hour. If they're making that, like they don't have 12 grand in the bank probably where they can pay their deductible before they can use their health insurance. Right? Now you've got a year later, you've got one of your workers is working, but they're also trying to figure out how to pay these bills that they can't pay. And maybe now you have a worker who winds up going bankrupt, and that worker maybe isn't quite as good of a worker because of all the stress. And now that worker can't buy a house either because they have a bankruptcy on their hands. Right? Like everything about what the Democrats are proposing helps your business. What the Republicans are proposing probably only helps the owner of your business.
Right. So my question is, how are we going to pay for it? Who pays for the
taxes?
The
Rich
nationwide?
people. Rich people.
Yeah,
They'll
rich
pay.
people,
They'll
but
pay it.
we-
We'll tax. We won't. We'll tax capital gains. Like Donald Trump like paid $750 in taxes one year.
Right.
Some of these billionaires, the way they're able to structure their income, they pay $0 in taxes. They give themselves loans from their company at zero interest that they have no intention of ever paying back. Right? So their companies can just float it. They don't have to do that. We have to get that money back. We have to tax Wall Street. We have to get rid of big health insurance because they just gouge us every single day. So what we could offer is that all of the electorate comes together and we negotiate together on healthcare. It'll drop our healthcare prices, which just frees up money for everybody and makes everybody healthier. Brings a bunch of people who right now might be on disability, might be on their way to disability because they can't afford healthcare. Might be on a way to like mental health issues that will force them out of the workforce. We want to keep people in the workforce. We want to keep people happy. We want to keep people healthy. And the Republicans are just saying, we want people to work, but we're not going to do anything to support them. And Democrats are saying, we want people to work. And because we're the government and this is supposed to be our job is to make things better for our citizens, we're going to make it better so that people can go to work, so that people don't have, aren't preyed upon by billionaires who are just like, we'll pay you $15 an hour that that you can't live on while we make billions.
Right. I do remember. You remember when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were both running for president in 2016, and she brought up something about him paying taxes, and he goes, "Well, you were a senator for 13 years, change the tax code, and I'll happily pay my taxes." So, do you think it's something that it's in our tax code, right? Have you ever heard of the Fair Tax Act?
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
You don't like it?
No, because it doesn't. If the rate was like, what's the rate going to be? If the rate's 10%, it still doesn't cover our spending. Not even close.
Do you think? Yeah. Well, if it's something that's statewide thing, you don't think that would help?
Well, states can already put in a fair tax if they want to for state income tax. But
Right.
state income tax usually, like, I don't know where I think in my state it maxes out at like 6.5 or 8%. It just moved. I can't remember. But yeah, you could do it state by state. But if you're talking about like a 10% tax across the board, no, that doesn't work. It doesn't pay for everything. And it still like disproportionately hurts people with less money. The people who own these big corporations, it's not like they're working hard. So why do they need like billions of dollars? Why do they need more money than they can spend when that money was made? Like, we printed that money. We designed the economy on purpose. That money is supposed to go into the economy and circulate. So why should we allow for people to just hoard it, to just take it and keep it at the top and keep hoarding it and hoarding it and hoarding it?
Right.
We'll just have to print more money eventually, right?
Right. And that
Or
just
they're
causes
going to have to be like,
inflation.
never mind, we'll send it back down. And they're not going to do that because we've given them 40 years to do that, and they just keep keeping more and more money.
Right. So I lost my train of thought. Sorry, lady ran out in front of me.
Okay. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I'm driving.
Can't be driving when you're doing that. Thanks. All right, the only 11. You said you were going to explain something, so I'm not sure. I didn't see your comment, but I did see you were going to explain something. So welcome.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. First, we're gonna start from the beginning, right? Then we'll get into that.
The beginning of time?
No. First,
The beginning
we're
of
gonna-
what? This is the start of our conversation. This is the beginning.
We're talking about Trump, right?
Well, right then we were talking about taxes, but we can talk about Trump if you'd like.
Yeah, but I like to go a little bit further back than that, right? So,
sure.
First off, okay, I don't agree 100% with Trump, right? But I would say I agree like 51% with him.
Sure.
Over Biden, which is 49% in my opinion, right?
What are the things you agree with Biden on?
I'll get to that, right? But first, okay.
Excuse me. It is my live. I'm going to ask some questions. The reason I'm asking that question, I'll be very clear. Everybody always says that. Everybody always comes on and claims that they're in the middle, and then they spend the entire time like defending Trump. So I was just wondering if you could give me like one example of something that you like that Biden's done, just so that we know that like, hey, he's not just like filling us full of shit. Like he really does mean this.
No, that's the thing, right? Like I'm gonna get through this, right? It's about
Yeah, but I'm just asking you this question. Can you just
okay.
answer
It's about
this question?
the idea. It's about the idea that Biden represents.
Okay, but I'm just asking like what things you like about Biden, because you said 49% of the time you agree with him.
It's the idea, like he is, unlike Trump, right? Which is build the wall, blah blah blah, and all that nonsense, right? Biden is not like that.
So you don't have anything specific. You just think just because he's a little different than Trump is what you're saying. You like him because he's a little different than Trump.
Yeah, like I agree with his ideology, right? But
okay,
I'm going to talk about where I agree with Trump, okay, and then I'm going to talk about where I disagree with Biden, right?
Wait, hold on. You're going to tell me where you agree with Trump and disagree with Biden, but you can't give me a single example of where you
that's
agree
the
with
thing,
Biden?
right?
Is that what you're
that's-
saying?
I'm trying to tell you, right? Like if we go through what we're talking about, right? Like if we talk about it, then we can get to that.
Well, I'm trying to talk to you about it, but you keep seeming like you don't want to talk about it.
No, I do want to talk about it, right? But I want to
Okay,
get
so then could you just tell me a specific thing that you agree with Joe Biden on?
that's the thing, right? Let me get to Trump first, right?
No, can you just tell me a thing that you agree with Joe Biden on?
I mean, bro, like the thing is, right? Just give me time, right? I'm gonna
No, thank you. Can you just give me one thing that you agree with Joe Biden on?
At the moment, I can't think of it. I have to.
Okay, so is it safe to say that now that you were going to unload on a bunch of Trump stuff, that you may not have been being honest about the 49% and the 51%?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
No, so
about that.
so then you're not going to be able to like name something you like about Trump, I'm assuming, right? Because it's only 2% more.
No, it's not that. It's
Oh.
It's just like right now I'm a bit nervous, right? Coming on live.
You know what I think? The only 11? I think that you might have a script.
No, I don't have a script, bro.
Okay. Seems like you might, because like you're making all these weird claims like you're this in the middle person, but you can't name a single thing, not one single thing Biden's done that you agree with. And you said you agreed with him 49% of the time. So out of those 49%, like you can't think of one thing that you agreed with?
All right, let me tell you what I disagree with on Biden.
Why won't you tell me what you agree with?
I'll get to that, right?
No, you won't, because you don't have one. So can you just admit that you're not at 49-51? Just admit you're a Trumper and you try, like, it's okay. I'll let you do all the Trump stuff. But just, if I'm going to believe that you're an honest person, that you're doing this in good faith, can you just now be like, all right, I just said that shit, but really I'm just a Trumper?
No, I'm not a Trumper.
Okay, so then one specific thing you agree with Biden on, you still can't do that though, right?
It's the idea. I agree with Biden.
The idea of Joe Biden. And that's 49% of the time you just agree with the idea of Joe Biden.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going. Nobody believes you, but for the sake of this conversation, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to tell you like what I disagree with on Joe Biden. Okay, first off, all right. We're gonna.
And by the way, I'm gonna stop you after each one instead of like so each one that you go just so ahead of time. Each claim that you make that you don't like, I'm gonna ask you questions about each one instead of having you go through the whole list first. Okay?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is it's about Afghanistan. That's the big one, obviously. Okay.
What's the issue there?
The issue is, you know how we froze their accounts. The accounts of the Afghan people, right? And Joe Biden, he decided to give $3.5 billion of that, the money that belongs to the Afghan people. He decides to give that to the 9/11 victims, their families, right? First of all, okay, the Afghan people were not even responsible for 9/11.
This story's from 2022. Are you talking about the Afghanistan pullout, or what are you talking about?
Well, the pullout happened in 2021, right?
Okay, gotcha. So are you upset about the pullout? That's what I'm asking. Are you just upset about the pullout,
I'm also upset about the pullout. Like how he did it was just ridiculous. You know, like Trump, he did a good thing trying to pull out of that, right? Because that war was useless. It didn't make sense to begin with. You know what I mean? And he said, okay, we're gonna pull out of that, right? But how Biden handled that? And then what he did after, right? Taking away the money that belonged to the Afghan people and then giving it to, you know, it's like it's not.
That's not. Wait, but this isn't what happened. This isn't what they didn't take the money, the frozen money, and give it to the victims of 9/11.
Yeah, they did.
No, they unveiled the fund for the Afghan people. It was through the Bank for International Settlements. The fund will preserve, protect, and selectively disperse money. With this, and then we can go down here. Possible uses of the reserve include, according to the fund's governing bylaws, provide Afghan banking sector liquidity, keep Afghanistan current on its debt service, support exchange rate stability, transfer funds as appropriate to public Afghan financial institutions, pay for critical imports like electricity, and pay for essential central banking services like SWIFT payments.
$3.5 billion.
Yep, none of that was giving money to the 9/11 victims. Like you're not even right about this.
Well, that's what my source says. I mean,
okay. Well, who's your source? Who's your source?
Well, right now I'm on my phone. Do you want me to?
You mean your script? Is it your script?
No, dude, it's not my script.
Okay, cool. But you don't know the source.
Well, I'm on my phone. That's the thing, right? Like I'm not gonna have a laptop in front of me.
I understand that, but like I'm literally looking at it. This is the United States Institute of Peace .org, and it's explaining exactly what this does, and none of it is giving the $3.5 billion to the victims of 9/11.
Bro, he was criticized for that on the news.
I don't care what he was criticized for on the news. I'm telling you what this means. I don't control the news. Sorry.
Okay, so you tell me what your source says.
Let me read this
real quick. Exactly. Go ahead.
So this was actually so a New York magistrate judge Let's see. A federal magistrate judge in New York issued a carefully reasoned and extensively documented recommendation that based on relevant U.S. laws, the remaining half of Afghanistan's central bank reserves cannot be turned over to 9/11 plaintiffs. This was after the fund was made. Then it was ruled in a magistrate court that the money cannot. And so this wouldn't even be a Biden thing anyways. Like, this is in the courts. The courts ruled it cannot be given to the 9/11 victims. I've never heard this story before, but I'm just reading you what it says. And I'm reading the recommendation from the magistrate courts on nysd.uscourts.gov.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Biden, right? What his decision was, okay? So his decision is that he wanted to take $3.5 billion for political purposes, right? For political clout. He wanted to do that and try to give it to 9/11 victims, right?
No, that's also not what happens. What happened is because that money was held and it was frozen, the victims from 9/11 sued to try and get access to that money, and they lost.
Because Biden first tried to make a statement out of that, right? And
shut up. It's so stupid. What are you talking about?
Dude, okay, oh my God, man. Yeah, I wish I had my laptop in front of me, okay? But
I wish you did too. So they sued the fund because Biden made a statement. So the thing that you don't like about, look at all these specifics you have of things you don't like about Biden. Once again, can't give me one specific you like. You can't even get the specifics you don't like correct.
I'd like to ask this, all right? First off, Biden has a bunch of advisors that advises him. Obviously, like, oh my God, dude. This dude, he's not making decisions by himself.
Shut
right?
up. Shut
Why
up.
would he make
Shut
that
up.
kind of statement, first of all?
Shut up. This is so stupid.
I mean, bro, you're insulting
You don't
me.
even have any of these facts right, and now you're on Biden made a statement. You probably can't tell me where this statement is. I'm just supposed to remember off the top of my head some statement Biden made, when everything I've pulled up so far shows like, you don't seem to know what you're talking about. But I'll look up Biden's statement for $3.5 billion.
I'll look it up because, I mean, like...
But you understand that, like, this can't go there, right?
Yeah, I can. That's what I'm
To the
saying.
9/11 victims? No, it's been ruled that it can't.
Well, that's the ruling, right?
Yeah, that's how our system works.
Hold on.
We have courts, and they rule.
That's the ruling, right? But Biden, he made that promise as a president. And how things work is not how things are supposed to be.
Yeah, he said he wanted to split the money between Afghanistan and 9/11 victims. And then the 9/11 victims sued and they lost. So you're just mad that Biden had an idea that you didn't like?
Well, yeah, it was unjustified.
Oh my God, shut up. No, dude, you're so disingenuous. This is crazy.
Dude, you gotta stop being condescending, okay? It's like
No, I don't. No, I can be as condescending as I want anytime I want. That's how this works.
I mean, like, if I get that you like Biden, like
Now you're gonna, yeah, and now here comes the crocodile tears. Why are you mean to me? Grow up. No, just be a little tougher. Just have like a little bit thicker skin. Be a little tougher. Okay.
Now let's go forward, okay?
Okay, let's go forward.
Now
Killed
Biden
it on that one.
Now Biden pulled out the troops,
Okay.
and how he handled that was, in my opinion, like the worst possible way to handle that.
What could he have done differently? What was the better way to do it?
Well, first off, right, if Trump was in office, in my opinion, right?
This was Trump's plan that Biden executed, just so you know. So before you say something dumb, Trump made this plan and Biden executed on Trump's plan. This plan was in place before Biden took office. I'm sure you definitely knew that beforehand. But just so you know, if you're going to criticize this plan and saying the plan was bad, you have to criticize Trump and Biden on this one, okay?
No.
No, of course not. No, of course not. But you're just 51-49, just right down the middle. You're just such a middle of the road guy that even though this plan was hatched by the Trump administration, we certainly couldn't put any blame on them.
I'll say this, okay? For sure, we made a bad deal. Like Trump should have been a little bit more stronger, and he should have made a better deal with the Taliban.
This wasn't a deal. This wasn't a deal.
It was a deal, dude. Okay, like we opened the Doha office.
Dude.
We were the one that permitted the Doha office so we can talk to them. We were the one that never listed them on the terrorist list.
Okay, now you're off to a new topic. Are we going to a different topic now?
No,
So are we going to stick with the pullout?
Let's stick to the pullout. Okay.
Okay. So Trump created a plan. Under Trump, we created a plan, and Biden executed. And you don't think it's a very good plan.
Okay,
Fine.
hold on.
And do you recognize that maybe both parties should, if you don't like something, you should probably blame both parties there?
I do hold Trump to some extent accountable. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. However,
how much of the extent, percentage wise?
I would say 30 to 40%.
30 to 40%. Cool. All right. Next subject.
Okay, so when he pulled out, right? I believe Trump could have done it differently. First off,
It was
right?
it was his plan. I don't care what you hypothetically think Trump could have done. The only thing we know Trump was planning to do is what Biden did, and we know that because it was his plan. So your hypothetical of Trump would have done better is a little silly considering the fact that like this was his plan.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, like Biden came off as weak, right? So the Taliban.
Yeah, using Trump's plan. So that's fine if you want to call Biden weak, but if you're going to call Biden weak and say that like Trump would have had a better plan, you kind of lose us because it was Trump's plan.
Sure, it was Trump's plan. Yep.
Okay.
But he
now,
wasn't.
now get to the next bullet point on your script, because this one we're at a standstill. So next bullet point on your script there.
No, I'm gonna stick to this, right? So
I don't want to talk about this anymore. You don't seem to know much about it. So let's find something else that you know a little more about.
I do know much about it, right?
You don't seem to.
Okay, so first there was the pullout, right? The pullout, he fucked up completely. Okay.
They did, Trump and Biden, right?
Well, mainly Biden, right? That's
Oh, mainly Biden. Got it. Yeah, of course.
I don't, mainly Biden. Mainly Biden fucked
Sure,
up.
of course.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
So he fucked up, and then next, he went on to screw the Afghan people by making that statement.
They didn't get screwed. They didn't lose any of their money.
Well, it's frozen, isn't it?
I believe it's been unfrozen now, right? Isn't that what I just read?
Supposedly.
Supposedly. Okay. Is there anything that like you have good facts on that you feel a little more confident in? Because this is silly. I'm literally fact checking you in real time, and you're going, I don't know, maybe. No, it's Biden's bad.
It's just that you're not taking responsibility. That's
For what? I wasn't part of those decisions, so no, I don't have a lot of responsibility in the pullout. What's that?
You support Biden, right?
Yeah, I do, but you're just here to like. So is that what you want? You want me to say like this is partially my fault for supporting Biden that the pullout went bad?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that what you're looking for?
I'm trying to say. I'm saying
Sure. Sure. It was
bit.
partially my fault because of the
No,
pullout.
not partially.
Does that make you feel? Does that make you feel better?
No, not partially. Mainly.
It's mainly my fault.
Yes.
Okay.
That they fucked
Well,
up.
on behalf of the American government and Joe Biden, I'd like to personally apologize for apparently the massive role I played in designing and executing the pullout of Afghanistan. I'm way more powerful than I thought, and I apparently need to take a lot of responsibility for this. So there you go. The only 11 I'm taking. And in fact, I'll save you a little time so we can move on to something you know more about. I'll take 100% of the blame for it. Okay.
Yeah. That's
okay.
That's,
Cool.
That's not genuine.
All right. Next subject.
Nah, man, I can't talk to you like you.
Okay, then see you later.
Yeah. Take care. Goodbye.
It's a good morning. It's a good morning. If you're not opposite, can you guys drop the non-opposition in the box? We'll keep going. What was that? The scripts. Look, we got to update the scripts, guys. The scripts aren't working. We got to update the scripts. You're gonna need to have some sources. You may need to get your army some laptops. You may. Thank you for accepting my apology. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. World War II. That's on me too. Whatever. Hey, look. If we need to take some accountability for some things as the country, I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin. It's all me. I think his brain was broken before I got there. Cash app me outside. Doesn't seem like a normal account. This seems like maybe coming from the same script. Maybe this person could just pick up from the script where his buddy left off. I don't know. Yeah, at least I know it already happened. At least we know World War II. There was a World War II? Oh, come on. Don't give me 911. That's a little far. Sorry. Troll bait's gone. Mark. Hi, Mark. Are you there? Oh, it's just still loading. Well, good news, Otterwolf. You don't have to take the blame for that anymore, because it's all me. Look, if anybody's marriages fell apart, if any of you made some bad business decisions, let me know. I can apologize for those as well. Oops. Anything you guys need me to take ownership of, that'll be fine. Nick, explain JFK. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, go Niners. Where'd everybody go? Did they all leave? I might have broken down another ring of Trollskis. Maybe it didn't work. And Abraham. Sorry, this one's a tough. Not an empty box. No, not an empty box. I was trying to read this name. Good morning.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, baby. What's up? Hi.
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 So I'm in the UK and I'm not an American citizen.
Okay.
I'm really worried that you guys seem to be very confident that Biden is going to win. But my worry is, like the previous caller, they are so dumb. And unfortunately, the dumb people and the smart people in America get only 1 vote. It's not like the super genius people get 3 votes and the dumb MAGA scum get, 1 vote.
It's true. We all each only get 1 vote. That's true.
Yeah, it's really worrying. But still, 2020, and it's about who's going to be more motivated. I mean, 2020, Biden had 74 million votes and Trump had 70 million votes.
I think it was 81 million to 74, I think is what it was, but we were close on that.
Yeah, but Trump was saying, I got more votes than any American president in human history, blah, blah, blah. And
well, I think what his claim was he got more votes than any like second term president in history. But it's kind of a silly thing. Like every election we've had since, I think, the second Obama election, but every election since then has been like record turnout, and that seems to be the case. Like we're growing, more people are voting, access to voting is getting easier, so we're just having more and more people vote. So it's kind of a silly argument that he keeps making.
I mean, the most incredible thing is if Trump wins, he could rule America sitting in a jail in Georgia.
Yeah.
He can't pardon himself. It goes to like a parole board. The Georgia governor can't pardon him. He can't pardon himself. Biden already said, no way I'm pardoning him. The only way Trump gets out is Vivek Ramaswamy, wins. And Vivek has already said he would pardon Trump.
Oh, of course he would. Of course he would. They all would. They all would. They're all such cowards.
Yeah. It's, I just, Trump's second term was going to be Trump's first term on steroids. It's going to be 100 times worse.
Yeah, I agree. It would be a real problem if he won again. I really do. I think he would use that entire 4 years trying to get revenge, and because of that, the people around him, the people like Heritage Foundation, people like Matt Gaetz, like he will just sign anything that's vindictive. I don't think he has any real plans, but the people around him are scary people, and because if it's seen as like he can sign an executive order or sign a bill because it's gonna get revenge on somebody, he'll just sign it. He doesn't read it.
The positive thing is all the advisors who came in the first time, they're all either in prison or they have left politics for good.
Yeah, so they've just disappeared or they're in trouble. You're right.
His lawyers are in prison. He's in prison.
That's true.
But the problem is a lot of the American people are just not motivated enough to vote for a 84-year-old Joe Biden, and they all think he's Sleepy Joe and he's got dementia. He did admit that he's got sleep apnea since 2008. He used a sleep apnea machine, so he might have but I don't think he's dementing. He's not like Ronald Reagan gone full Alzheimer's.
Yeah. All right, sorry, my Discord's killing me. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, congratulations on not having to be here for that, though. That's great for you.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
Okay.
I got some people waiting in the box. I appreciate you coming up.
No,
all right,
thank
we'll see.
You,
all right. God bless the UK. Some people might be headed over there soon. Zach, Zach on Demon Time. I think that's what that was. These usernames are stumbling me today. Hey, Zach.
Hey.
It's weird when you eat when you get on a microphone. That's weird.
Yeah. Why would I vote
How old
for
are you?
19,
19. What year were you born?
2004?
Cool. Could you? I really do have like a thing with people eating. It like bugs the shit out of me. Could you not eat while you're on? It's like, okay, thank you.
So why would I vote for Trump? Why would I vote for Biden?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean,
Can you stop eating, please? All right. Weird. See, dude. So weird. Does anybody else have that? It's like, it's nails on a chalkboard for me. Like, I have a real problem if I hear that. Turtle, good morning.
Oh, shoot. Am I on?
You're on.
I had no idea I could even get access to that.
Well, now you know. Welcome.
Hey, yeah, thank you. I listen to your content all the time. Love what you do.
Appreciate that.
And
Thank you.
yeah, thanks. Keep on keeping on, man.
All righty. Any wise words for the people?
I have no idea how to drop.
I'll get you. I can take care of it.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm like sitting here doing painting stuff, so I'm just
All right, Turtle. I'll drop you that. Thank you. Congratulations
Take care,
on
man.
your new access, Turtle. That's terrific. Very proud of you. Looks like you got some followers. Care Bear's up next. Good morning, Care Bear. Oh, no Care Bear. We unloaded the that chick Beth is here.
Hi there.
Beth. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Wonderful.
I'm
What's
not
up?
opposition.
Okay.
And this might be a topic that you're not even well versed in, but
There's a possibility.
well, I'm not well versed in it either, but it's a concern of mine, and it's always in the back of my head. Is Russia. And I know how Russia, they did their thing in Italy trying to get involved with their voting, and how Italy is very corrupt or was corrupt. How they got involved with Turkey, Russia got involved with Turkey. I know that Russia is now, having a lot of influence in Africa to the point that they were shaking hands at the Central African Republic Summit, that the coup in Niger, they were flying Russian flags in Africa.
I think Slovakia just also accused Russia of meddling in their election as well.
Yes, so the Turkey and Italy thing were before the U.S.
Right.
So, because I did this whole deep dive back in 2016 out of pure shock. So, so anyways, because I've never thought of Africa as an enemy, continent, countries, whatever. It's always been just Russia. But now I'm concerned about Africa because Africa is huge, and it's just not good if they're in cahoots with Russia. So that combined with my concern that Saudis owning our top oil refinery in the U.S. and Trump being in with the Saudis and, what's his name? The kid, Jared. With the billions, with the Saudis.
Okay.
So anyways, all of that in a bubble scared the hell out of me if Trump got elected. And I think that anyone that's Gen X like me, that lived during the Cold War and everything, would also or should also have the same concerns as I do.
Yeah, I think Russia influence peddles all over the world. You're right that I'm not an expert on this, but I do think that what Russia loves to do is they try and be influential all over the world, and then they'll put out their own news stories that their influence is being super impactful. We're still giving millions and millions of dollars in aid, and we still have strategic partnerships all over Africa. Now, Russia's trying to get in there, and it's smart by some of these African countries. If Russia can offer them something and help them out with something, like why not take the aid? They're trying to develop, and in many cases they'll need that aid. But I don't know. I'm not that educated on this, but I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that like Russia and China now are in control of the continent of Africa. And even if they were, militarily, I don't know how huge that is.
Right, I agree.
We're not going to have
agree.
land wars. Yeah.
I agree. It's a creeping in of certain parts of Africa and certain countries.
But they've been doing that forever, and they've been trying to like show their influence forever, and they keep winding up not really having influence. They keep losing. They keep,
I guess
for
this
decades
July
they've lost these battles to like these strategic partnerships and alliances. They keep losing, mostly because they're all corrupt, and people.
Right.
Once they're around them at all, they're like, "Oh wait, I forgot you guys are corrupt." That's why.
I guess it was this past July when they were waving the Russian flags. That kind of was like to me,
But again, like
whatever.
that's who knows? Like who knows that that's not just like staged optics? Who's
Right,
to
that's
say that they
true.
weren't like, hey, grab these flags, be in the streets, like wave them around and act like everybody here? Because you're still just seeing a small amount of people waving a Russian flag. I have no idea what that even means. Maybe they're just saying like, thank you for sending aid. It could mean a million
Right.
different things.
Right. That's good. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was just trying to see what your idea was, because I don't hear, no one seems to, well, not no one, but a lot of people on lives don't really talk about like the world issues.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Including me. It's not where I'm great. I'm trying to learn more, but it's not where I'm great. So I kind of leave it.
well,
to people
most
who
of us are focused on ourselves.
Right.
So, which is normal.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
That's right. Yeah.
So, but anyway, thank you for having me up.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice
Okay,
to meet
bye.
you, Beth. We'll see you.
Nice meeting you.
All right. I don't know if there's some Russian experts coming up there. This is user with a whole bunch of numbers here. Hey, user, lots of numbers. Are you there? Car guy? Hello? I'm getting messages like, stay away from talking about Russia. Yeah, I know. I'm careful. We got to be careful about saying that guy's name over there in Russia. You say that and you start getting some people listening in. All right. Did I already talk to Turtle? We already did that, right? Oh, yeah. Turtle was the one that left and came back up. All right. I do need to check in with Miss Julie. It looks like we got to have a check-in with Miss Julie, seeing she's doing okay. Oh, user was in the chat and then came up and said nothing? Is that what happened? I didn't even see that. All right, user, jump back in the box. Maybe we lost Miss Julie. All right, Miss Julie, if you want to come back later, you can. Oh, he's still chatting? Wait, hold on. He came up, didn't say anything, and then went back to the chat to talk? Aw, widow guy. Widow guy. We'll see if we can get user back up here. Just mostly looking for opposition, please, in the box. Mark, Katrina, Turtle, I see it, but I am looking for some opposition right now. I get too bored if people agree with me. It's got to be something about my childhood. I probably have like a messed up childhood, right? That's got to be some stuff. Agreed. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with that. All right, well, we'll head to Twitter for a second, see what's going on at Twitter. Anybody ex-Mormon talk? Let's run everybody out of here. If people don't like talk Mormon talk, but ex-Mormon talk, that might be even worse for some people. That could be very triggering. Just like in boredom. What are these? Turn off invites for the. Let's see, decline that. I am too. I'm just saying it might just be me and you, Amber. We might just be talking alone, one-on-one. Congratulations on your escape. It's terrific. Jenny says that's their favorite, which is weird. Like if I go to trending, then I got President Nelson trending on my Twitter. What did he do? Still reeling a bit from President Nelson's address. I don't think I've ever heard him be so direct and forthright. Oh, that's right. It was General Conference this weekend. Oh, yeah. Okay. For any of you who don't know, that's the Mormons like twice a year get together and they watch all the leaders speak on TV. So that's why he's doing that. I don't think I can do that. That's an American Mass. You're welcome to come up, but you got to change your profile picture because that's a brand that gets me in trouble. So you can't have a brand I'm pretty sure you got me once before, or somebody did the same thing. Not Mormon living in Utah. God bless you. That's Gorilla Gang. Welcome.
What's going on?
Just hanging out. How are you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Hold on a second. Are you getting feedback? Because I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm
going
getting an
through my
echo. You want to
truck.
drop and come back up? I'll get you. Here, I'll drop you. You can come back up though. Good question. I don't know how I got my hat so fast, Benny. I get notifications when everybody's order shipped, and it shipped fast. The only thing, I got the hat. I got 2 hats and a shirt. The coffee mug and the cup aren't here yet, so I guess they don't always ship everything all together. Straight. Alley Pants says 100% stereotyping that guy. Straight to jail. Straight to jail with me. Go ahead and come back up. Guerrilla Warfare, or I can't remember what that name was. Where is Whisper today? Good question. I don't know where Whisper is today. He has like a real ass job. He may just be doing actual work. Did user leave? You guys see the new Miss Julie sticker? Got Miss Julie. That's the Miss Julie one, right? Stuck to the refrigerator. If somebody wants to come up with a better one, I can take care of that. That was what I had at the moment, and Whisper was busy. Whisper's one of our mods. I don't see him today. Infectious Bites, I believe, is here. Bree, I believe, is here. Korean Leftist, I don't know if Korean Leftist is here today. I think Jen is here. Got a lot of our moderators are here. All right, we'll bring up American Mass. I've been told that Handsome Liberals Live Snuggles went over there to try and drag me. He's going to hate that clip. Welcome, American Mass.
Hello. So, Donald Trump was the greatest thing to ever happen in American history. He is the greatest dictator to ever set foot in the office.
Okay, keep it going. Get it all out. Get it all out.
He is a model, a GQ model. He is a woman. He gets all the ladies. He is a businessman. He has a beautiful family. His son is 6'8" NBA player. His daughter is a Ukrainian, beautiful, blue-eyed, blonde hair model. He is worth billions of dollars. Why wouldn't you want this staple of a man up in office running this country?
That's a good. You know what? You got me there. I think you got me there. You're right. I'm switching my vote.
I mean, look at he's 6'3", 220 pounds. All right,
215. 215.
All right, 215. He can hit a good golf ball. All right, have you seen him hit a golf?
I've seen him shank it a few times. He's not a bad golfer though. Yeah.
Okay, so why wouldn't you want him over Sleepy Joe up in office?
That's a good point.
Do you have any debate on that? Do you have any?
No, no, you got me on this one. I think you got me stuck.
So did I win this debate?
You did.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, American Mass. Appreciate it. Taking me down one at a time. One at a time. Hacko here. Hi, Hacko. That's right. Yeah, I'm going full. I've moved sides. Straight Republican now. I mean, listen, if that wasn't parody, bad read on me. Bad read by me. But usually when they're laughing while they're saying things like that, it's a good sign that it's parody. What did we say about Snuggles was bitching about you over in Handsome Liberals Live? Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that he was complaining about me. What's he mad about? That he doesn't know anything? Is that the thing that's got him upset today? Adderall is trending. How is Adderall trending in Twitter? Okay, what is this? Let's just see what this is.
Top person in Austria,
Let's see. Trump apparently is talking about how to fix the forest from burning. Let's see.
We're sending billions of dollars to California for forest fires. Their forests are burning down. And I was with a gentleman, a very top person in Austria. He said, sir, we have more flammable trees than you do on your coast. We don't have forest fires. We have land management. They take care of the land. They pick up the dead trees. You know, a tree doesn't burn very easily unless it's dead. Then it gets dry and it burns. The leaves on the ground, they're 5 feet thick over here. They clean the floor. And everybody said, oh, how ridiculous management of a forest. You know, they all said, like, what the hell? But they don't have forest fires in properly run locations. What we have is horrible. And we can actually dampen our forests with water that costs us nothing, that will come pouring down from the north. Wouldn't that be nice? If you had dampened floors, you wouldn't have forest fires. So we'll work on that.
Standing ovation for, if you have dampened floors, you won't have forest fires. All right. Well, here's the thing. If you would like to fix our forest fire problem, and you would like to hire a bunch of people to go through our forests and take care of the trees and rake leaves, you're going to spend a lot of money to do that. So just advocate for that. But he acts like everybody is just like sitting around and they're like, what are we going to do? We can't do anything. He acts like we have the resources to do all this, but then like that's not the issue. The issue is that just like nobody's going out there with their rakes and raking up the forest. And also I like that he calls it the floor. That shows you like Donald Trump is either on a golf course or inside. He doesn't know that like not everything is man-made. I think he thinks like a forest, we made it and we put leaves down on the floor to make it nicer. I don't know what that was. But somebody said his brain is turning into goo. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the front runner. There's your front runner for the GOP primary. Watching videos of Joe Biden ride a bike, doing some push-ups. Beautiful. I was just looking for the one of Donald Trump doing push-ups or riding a bike or doing anything. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't see that. Still no opposition. What is going on? All right, we'll have to go no opposition. Mark, what's up? Mark, are you still here?
No.
Hey, Mark.
You know, I've decided to change my vote to Trump. Actually, yeah. As soon as Travis Kelce dumps Taylor Swift for me, you know, because I can make the bad boys good for a weekend too. You know, so when that happens, and Travis and I are going to get married, I'll send you the invite, and I'll definitely change my vote to Trump. I promise you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, look, it feels like an uphill battle. If we're being honest, it just feels like an uphill battle there, Mark. But I appreciate the effort. How about Taylor Swift? Those videos are hilarious, by the way, of the people that are like telling their husbands that Taylor Swift put Travis Kelce on the map. He picked up like 1 million Instagram followers. That's a good raise for Travis there. Turtle, welcome back. You're really figuring it out.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a minute. So yeah, I was arguing about this with my brother the other day, and admittedly not very well informed on this topic. And I heard you allude to it a few days ago, so I thought you might be able to share some perspective. So you hear about open border policy. Republicans talk about it all the time, especially the MAGA group. And what I've learned is that, yeah, in fact, there are roughly 5 million illegal immigrants that have made it in the United States, I guess, since Biden's presidency. And that's according to Pew Research.
Okay.
So just wondering, like, admittedly, Biden's not just allowing immigrants to flood in through the borders. Border policy and border guards are still doing their jobs down there, but they're still just overwhelming the border in general. So you mentioned the other day that influx of immigrants, whether legal or not, has somehow saved our asses here, in the U.S. So
yeah, I think I was talking
your
about
perspective.
Yeah, I was talking about Title 42 ending. So with COVID, there were a lot of people that had work visas and they were sent back specifically to Mexico because we didn't have the jobs, like we were shut down, right? And then by by undoing Title 42, those people came back. And in many areas, specifically in Arizona where I'm at, Like there were farmers that just didn't have anybody to work, and they relied on migrant labor. And this was legal migrant labor, by the way. They relied on that to pick their crops, and so we were having farmers all over the country that couldn't pick their crop. The crops were just drying up or shriveling up, and so them reversing Title 42 and bringing in migrant workers, like it was huge for us. I think that's what I was talking about. Kind of saved our asses. Definitely saved in Yuma,
generally
down south of me. It saved millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well, some of those immigrants were allowed to go to Florida. Maybe it helped them out there too, but that's not happening.
Sorry, what's going on? I don't know if you're getting that same thing. Oh, what's going on with TikTok? Can you guys hear him still? He's not on my screen anymore. Now he's gone? That was weird. Did it get weird for you guys? Oh, can you guys hear him? No? Okay, shit. I can hear him. Turtle, if you're there, will you just like close out of the app? I don't know what happened there. I can hear you. Nobody else can. It sounded like you were breaking up and then all of a sudden you were gone. City Indy, welcome. My life in general gets weird. It's true. Welcome. Yeah, you're on mute. Terrific. You're on mute. City Indy, I think that says. There you are.
All right, what's going on with you, buddy?
Hey, can you get maybe closer to your mic? I can't really hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
It's all right. It's not great, but what's up?
I'm just calling to let you know blacks for Trump, man.
Are you driving right now by chance?
A little bit.
All right, brother. You got to go. Can't be driving while you're on TikTok. What is going on today? Was this last Monday? I think last Monday was like this, wasn't it? Wasn't last Monday like this, if I remember right? DG, welcome. Might just be like a Monday thing. Hey, DG.
Hey, AJ, how's it going, man? I'm a big fan of yours, man. I've followed you for a little bit.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, the previous call, I think those Turtle, they was talking about the immigration thing, man. I'm from Texas, and of course, you know, and I also grew up, I have immigrant parents. They're from Mexico, and they came over here, you know, in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And luckily, I was born over here. I was blessed to be born over here, but they
yeah, you really adopted that Texas accent.
Oh, did I? Yeah, man. But you know, in growing up, man, I got to as I got older, I got to see how my parents struggled. Right, I saw how they're through the trials and everything they had to go through to make it over here, and just seeing my mom, you know, working for basically she did the what do you call it, stereotypical housekeeper job.
Like stay-at-home mom. Yeah.
And then dad, you know, working the fields, working 16 hours, and finally, man, by the grace of God, you know, they finally got their citizenship, they got their residency and everything, and were able to actually come up and be something. But a lot of the talking points that I hear from these right wingers, man, is that it's the open border thing or the illegal immigrants, and one thing I encourage them right wingers to do is to actually look into what the process is, you know, because they don't just come over here and that's it. You know, they're seeking asylum, they're looking for a better life. And my ex-wife, her and I have a great relationship. We got 3 kids together. She was an immigrant. She was illegal when she came over here. She was undocumented at the age of 3. And when her and I got married in 2007, 2008.
Hey, DG, real quick. I need to make sure you're not driving, right?
No, I'm a passenger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I'm about my driver trainer over here. He's driving, so I'm next.
Okay, cool.
But you know, my wife, she was undocumented, and man, I finally got to see the process firsthand, what it took to become a resident, how to get your work permit and then your residency and her citizenship, right? And man, I tell you what, after everything was said and done, we ended up spending about $12,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's including, all the forms, going through Homeland Security, going through get an attorney, because a lot of people are like, well, you don't need an attorney for that. I call BS, because every form you fill out, you have to pay a fee. You're talking about $500, $800, and it adds
Whoa.
up.
Yeah.
You mess up one time on that form after you spend $500. Guess what? You lose those $500. You got to pay that again to resubmit that form.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Yeah. And so it's not an easy process. So that's when the attorney comes in and says, okay, these are your forms. You got your ducks in a row. Okay, we submit them, right? But before that, she was undocumented, but she had a thing what they call an I-10 number. It's an immigrant tax identification number that a lot of them get. And
Yeah.
she's able to file taxes. She's able to file her taxes at the end of the year with the government. Unfortunately, she doesn't get all that money back. She doesn't get 9 times out of 10. She didn't get any of it back. You
Yeah.
know, and that's what a lot of these other right wingers don't understand. Like, hey, they do file their taxes. They lose that money though. They don't get anything back.
Right.
But I encourage these right wingers, man, and I encourage anyone for them to, if they see somebody and they know they're undocumented, take the time to listen to them, listen to their stories, listen to their struggles, and listen to learn, not listen to respond. Because when you see and you hear what they went through, walking for days across the border, if that's what they did, or if they came over here with a what do you call it, a permit to get over here, and like I said, a lot of them overstay their visas, So, but if they take the time to listen to those people, man, they can sit there and say, hey, you know what? If I was in that position, I would have done the same thing. My parents did the same thing. They sit there and said, the reason we came over here because we wanted you to have a better life. Man.
And you did. It sounds like you did too.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, and like I said, I mean, I'm actually, at the young age of 25, whenever I bought my house, I was married, I was further than they ever been, and unfortunately, my parents are not here anymore. They passed on. But man, just for them to take those sacrifices and to leave everything behind for me and my brothers and sisters to live a better life, man, dude, I just can't take it for granted, man. I got to be blessed. And again, man, that's why my eyes, my ears, and my mind is open to other people to listen to their struggles, because I'm not going to pass judgment unless I know. Actually, I don't even pass judgment at all, but you have to listen to their background, listen to what the reasons are, because man, sometimes you were like, damn, if I was in that position, I'll do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who's not going to do what's best for their family? Who's not?
Exactly, man. And that's just not only for the people from down south. I mean, you're talking about people from other countries, from Ukraine, from wherever, Afghanistan, China, wherever. I mean, man, take the time to listen to them, listen to their story, and man, you're gonna sit there and look back. You're like, you know what, this guy was right. This person's right. I would have done the same thing. But again, it is 2023. You got these MAGAs, man, that just don't care what you got to say. They're stuck on whatever their mind's stuck on, and they're not going to listen to hardcore facts.
Well, listen, good news is you got the voice to infiltrate them, so maybe that's going to be on your job, because you show up with that accent and they're going to let you right into every meeting. So maybe you got to start going to some MAGA meetings and changing some minds.
Man, I live in Texas, man. I'm from my good look on,
Yeah, throw on the red hat and show up. Nobody's going to ask you any questions.
They're going to call me what is it? Was it the Rhino? Is it a Rhino?
That's right, Rhino. Yeah, you just call him a Rhino. You got to be the first one to call the other one a Rhino, because that's kind of like an initiation. They got to know that you think everybody who disagrees is a Rhino, and then once they think that you're on their side, they're just going to listen to what you say. Just say that Trump said this, and then say what you have to say, and they're not going to fact check it. Just do it in your accent, the Texas accent. It's going to work. And say Trump said, and then tell them that stuff, and they'll just believe it.
All right, man. Hey, I've dropped those notes up, and use it for next meeting. I see you coming up.
TG, return and report, would you?
Hey, brother. Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And keep fighting the good fight, man.
Appreciate it. There
Yes,
you go.
sir.
Little return and report for any ex-Mormons in here. There's a little reference for you. Enjoy that. All right. Somebody said bring up MAGA. Oh, I'd like to bring up MAGA, but MAGA seems to have an issue coming up today. So I'll give him a minute here. Head back to. I saw John Eastman was trending. I'm not sure why. Let's see what he's got. Oh, wow. Clarence Thomas recused himself from Supreme Court decision rejecting John Eastman's request that the court vacate the decision that allowed Eastman's emails to be shared with the House January 6th Select Committee. That's actually pretty big. Like, finally, Clarence Thomas admitting he's way too involved in this. The Supreme Court denied the effort to vacate that ruling. Oh, I guess John Eastman was his former law clerk, so maybe it's not that big of an admission. Never mind. I take it back. All right. Well, sorry, John Eastman. You're in trouble still. You're still in trouble. Hey, Katrina.
Hi.
At 11:50. Hi.
Sorry, I know that you just want opposition, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Afghanistan, do you think that Biden, because he messed up, everyone gets so upset about that, but it was Trump's plan. Do you think that it would have been a lot more different if Trump would have did the transition process a little bit more smoother? You remember he had to fight for documents. Do you remember that?
The transition of the presidency?
Correct.
Is that what you're talking about? Oh, yeah. Trump refused to have any sort of transition plan with the Biden administration. They refused to work together. They refused to share documents. So Biden came in. We're lucky that Biden was experienced and had those people. But yeah, they did refuse to work with Biden. So, but that was a military plan. I don't know I doubt that had anything to do with it. I don't think that would really come into play. That's usually when you're talking about your cabinet, setting up your cabinet, and keeping ongoing operations going within your cabinet. But I don't know that would really. I don't know, maybe. I'd have to look at who all was involved and who Biden didn't keep on. But with the military, those people don't usually get politically involved. So I doubt it, but I guess it could be. Somebody could convince me otherwise, I think.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know because I always thought that, it wasn't like Biden was given the normal transfer of power to where he got the documents and was able to have his staff picked out and everything. So the opposition, of course, is going to be a delay when it comes down to his information. So yeah. I think that's why I get upset when I see Trumpsters coming here. It's he effed up the whole process. Well, maybe if he would have had a normal transition, he would have been abreast of the issues and been able to transition, the Afghanistan whole thing and maybe in a different way. That's how I think about it. But then again, I could be wrong.
It's very possible. I don't know. Somebody would have to know a little more than me, but it's certainly possible. I just don't know if that's true or not.
That's all I wanted. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Katrina.
Bye.
Somebody said we want to talk about Jamal Bowman. I'll talk about Jamal Bowman. It looks like here's what I think happened, and you can decide how angry it makes you. I think that they were waiting for people to vote, and he appears to have pulled the fire alarm to delay the vote, or maybe he wanted to get something done. It doesn't make sense to me that he said it was an accident. I've never accidentally pulled a fire alarm. I can't even think of how, when you see the video too, it's not like he was leaning back and he grabbed it. So yeah, he was probably, wait, let's see. Trying to get to a door. I thought the alarm would open the door and I pulled the fire alarm to open the door by accident. Yeah, I don't, I'm probably not buying it. I'm probably not buying that by Bowman. Did any of you guys buy that? Is anybody buying that? He was in a different building. Is that true? The video matches his statement. I'm just reading it now. I don't. Maybe the video matches. Okay. I'll watch the video. Let's see.
If you're looking for a Medicare
I'm gonna get a nice Medicare ad first. I did not think that I would get any pushback on this, so I'm gonna do a little more research. I thought everyone was just gonna say, yeah, that's what it looks like. So let me wait for this Medicare ad to end. Shout out Medicare. Shout out to anybody who's on Medicare. There were confusing signs on the door. Somebody's gonna have to show me these signs. It does not seem like a likely story. We're almost there with the Medicare. All right, let's find the video. I don't know. It still looks like he pulled it. If anybody wants to come offer a different story, I don't see it. CJ.
up, man?
How you doing?
I'm great. Well, not great. Migraine day, but it's fine.
I'm sorry to hear that. Nice to talk to you, though.
Always, always. So I believe wholeheartedly that man pulled that fire alarm to give the Democrats time to read that raggedy bill that they were trying to push through to not shut down the government. And I applaud that man. I give him several pats on the back because we all know how the Republicans like to be a little slimy, get in there and put little Easter eggs in there and try to screw us over in the end. So, yeah, he
Okay,
did,
so
and I need to give him a hug.
So I can see, like, there is a picture of this. There's a sign that says emergency exit only, then big signs on each one that says push until alarm sounds for 3 seconds, door will unlock in 30 seconds. And it's like right above where you push. And then off to the left, there's a fire alarm. So, yeah, I don't I don't know. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. I think it's 80%. If he did pull that fire alarm, he's not a very good reader. Like he wasn't comprehending what he read. Maybe he was frazzled. I don't know.
I think that might be it. But, how old is this guy now? Because he might be like boomer age, like you.
I don't think so. Fuck you. That was uncalled for.
Meanwhile, we're the same age, bro. We're the same age.
How dare you? He's 47. He's older than us. How dare you?
Okay. Well, boomer like boomer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got a lot of degrees. I think he just pulled it. That's my guess.
He did it on purpose so that they could read it, and I'm proud of him. I think what took me out was the Republicans comparing him pulling the fire alarm to J6.
I haven't heard that. For real?
That one, yeah, they threw that one out there. But if you're saying that, then that means y'all are admitting that J6 was bad, right? Because, they try to play it off and say that it wasn't all that terrible.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people involved in January 6th, specifically Capitol Police, who would be like, no, this was different. I think we should ask them if they felt it was the same. And I think that they would be like, no, it's different.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's what would
It's
happen.
definitely just tomatoes to potatoes. How about that? Yeah. So, I'm sorry I'm late today, but
That's all right. It's great to have you anyways.
Now, I did recently change my vote to Trump because...
Not you too. Go ahead.
Listen, hear me out, okay? This guy has broken world records, right? He's in the Guinness Book for most indictments. I think that's admirable, We got to be trendsetters, okay? He's being a trendsetter. He's trying to set the trend for the next set of presidents to commit crime.
He sure is. Yeah, you're right about that, man. I'm getting more and more convinced with every one of you assholes that comes up here and says that. You guys are just compelling.
I'm trying to, help my man out. He's got his orange tan stuff coming out. He's trying to get everybody on board. He needs to have everybody get that orange tan.
Let's all just unite around Donald Trump. I agree. Yeah, I think we ought to do that.
Let's do it. All right, everybody register Republican.
That's
okay?
right. Okay.
And let's go out there and vote for the orange man. Let's get him in there.
That's right. The red wave, baby. Orange wave, I guess, really. Orange
wave. That's it. That's it. Orange in the chat. Orange is in the chat.
Orange is in the chat. Okay. Thanks, CJ.
All right, man. I'll let you go try to find some opposition. Maybe I can get somebody in here. I don't know.
All right. Drum it up. Thank you.
All right, dude. Later.
God, you guys are all awful. Orange is in the chat. Danielle's back. Let me grab a drink out of here. Danielle, I'll bring you up. I got to get a drink out of the fridge real quick. Hi, Danielle. Welcome back. You're getting 2 visits today.
Yeah, sorry, I might be echoey. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
Orange is
so
the new jam.
real quick about Jamal. I originally thought his story was ridiculous, but then I looked a little deeper into it, and he was in the Cannon building. So even if he intentionally pulled the alarm, it wouldn't have done anything in the Capitol. So there would have been no benefit of pulling it, because nobody would have had to evacuate and it wouldn't have slowed anything down. And the Democrats had already successfully did the motion to adjourn, which gave them time to debate and everything. So there would have
Okay.
just been no purpose. And he also said that door is usually open. So usually he doesn't have to push anything to open the door. It's usually just open.
Yeah.
And
Did
so,
he
the
did
reason,
he explain? So, what if it's still true that he tried to do it to delay, but like it didn't matter? Because I'm looking at the picture. It's hard for me to imagine a person being confronted with what he was confronted with. Big signs explaining what to do, and him going, pull the fire alarm. Like it
no,
says
I
fire alarm.
totally agree with you
Yeah.
on how ridiculous it sounds. But because we know Jamal Bowman, I just, I see where it's like really hard to believe him, but at the same time, that's a ridiculous excuse to come up with. So if he was lying, don't you think he would have came up with something
It's another fair point.
better?
It's another fair point. Yeah. I don't know.
But
I
my
love that we have
biggest thing
fire
was,
alarm gate though. I like that.
I mean, but like you said though, like I will give it to you. It says fire alarm, so I get that part, but he said he was running late. The door's usually open. The sign does say, in his defense, it does say press until the alarm sounds, but it does not say to pull the fire alarm.
It does not. It
So,
specifically does not say that. Yeah.
right. So I totally get it, but he did admit, he was running late, he was rushing, and he was an idiot for doing it. The door's usually open, it's usually propped open, so normally you wouldn't even have to do that. And so that's and my biggest reason for defending him is he's never given us a reason not to. So yeah, that was
Well,
my
there's the
argument.
look. That's a good defense. It's a pretty good defense. I'm fence sitting on this one. That's where I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm going to
me
be a
too.
fence
Don't get me
sitter.
wrong. Me and my brother were talking about it, and we're like, Jesus Christ, like, come on, man. But yeah, and then is what the previous guest had said. They're literally calling for him to be arrested. Marjorie Taylor Greene said he needs to be arrested. I think Trump said he should be charged, like the January 6th people. Other MAGA people said this is like the insurrection. Like they just went crazy over it. It's like, buddy, he wasn't even in the proper building to delay the vote that they had already successfully delayed. Because Hakeem Jeffries was already giving the speech. Like they already successfully, paused everything by motioning to adjourn. So
Well,
I
the
don't know. It
thing
just
is
it's a
that what MAGA is and what this modern Republican Party is just waiting for something to either A, be offended about, or B, something that you can try and equate to something shitty that Trump did so that you can try and make what Trump did not seem like a big deal. And this is a stretch. I would say it's a big stretch to say that this is even remotely similar to January 6th. But that's all you're doing. It's literally your job as a Republican senator or a congressperson to just show up and find ways to either be offended or find ways to make something that happened seem like the exact same thing is what Donald Trump did so that we can continue to just like kiss his ass. Seems to be
right. And the most interesting part too was when they say, it's as bad as what the insurrection people did. I thought they were just, nice, fine people having a tour and they weren't doing anything wrong. So to equate, what he did, say that he should be arrested for it, but then turn around, you know how they are.
He was
They're
just
freaking
having it.
double
Yeah, he was
standards.
just touring the building. He was just testing out the features of the building. That's what he was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Really,
I just
really, we
wanted
should
to.
be thanking him for testing our systems. That's an American patriot.
Exactly.
He made sure that
There
our
you go.
fire alarms were working.
That's good. Yeah, exactly.
Let's go with that. That's our new narrative. Let's just roll that one out. We're going to just claim he's an American patriot, and that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. That sounds good.
All right, Tanya. Thank
All
you.
right, ITP.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
American patriot. What was his name again? I forget his name. Jamal Bowman. Keeping those Congress people safe, one fire alarm at a time. All right, Samantha Van Pelt. Maybe. Yep, there you go. Hi, Samantha. Samantha.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Hello.
I am so sorry. My phone, I listen to you every day. It was in my pocket. I must have accidentally pressed request to join.
Well, do you
Not
have anything to
intended.
say?
I love your show. I completely agree with everything you say.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it. Back at it. We'll see you.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
People's pockets even want to talk to me. But you know who doesn't? Not MAGA. They don't want to talk to me. RFK's family endorsed Biden. What is his wife? Is he still married to Larry David's wife? What's her name again? What's her name? Somebody got that? Oh, it does. My high school didn't think I was an American patriot when I pulled the alarm. I just got suspended. Well, you need more principals like me. Yeah, Cheryl Hines. Are they still married? Oh, they're separated. Wait. Oh, he offered to announce. What is this? All right, what is this thing? RFK offered to announce that he had separated his wife, Cheryl Hines, as an effort to shield her from scrutiny from his political statements. In an interview... Oh, she said that. Okay. Hines shares a statement that drove Kennedy to propose the separation announcement. Okay. My husband's opinions are not a reflection of my own. While we love each other, we differ on many current issues. The atrocities that millions endured during the Holocaust should never be compared to anyone or anything. His opinions are not a reflection of my own. Okay. That'd be tough. That'd be pretty tough if, like, you're like conspiracy theory husband. You're like, all right, I can deal with this shit at home. And then he's like, hey, by the way, I'm running for president now, and I'm going to be everywhere. And you're like, shit. All right, Chad.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, you were next. I meant to hit Chad, but we got you. Bad Views, welcome. I didn't expect you. I would have addressed you more angrily had I known it was you. I'm sorry for the pleasant welcome. Sorry about that.
Oh, I appreciate it. I got like this crazy idea though. Like,
okay.
I mean, I think we would both agree that this guy probably obstructed an official proceeding.
Well, you know what, he might have, but it sounds like he didn't. It sounds like he attempted to obstruct an official proceeding.
They were, I mean, according to Reuters, they were trying to delay the vote.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to delay the vote.
So how about this idea? Why don't we just apply the law equally? Now, I wouldn't call for 20 years for this guy, for doing it, which is the max.
Sure.
But how about 30 days? Lock his ass up for 30 days.
Sure, let's start the investigation.
What's there to investigate?
Well, I mean, he has a different story, right? So we should probably invest. We shouldn't just advocate for throwing people in jail without an investigation, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, all they did with a bunch of the J6ers was saw him on video, walking into the building, and they were like, "Good enough for me." I saw a video of this guy pulling the fire alarm.
All those people had court cases. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I mean, but they went to jail first.
Well, yeah, it's when you get arrested. See, that's how it works. You get arrested, and then you post bail, or if the judge rules that you can't post bail, then you can't post bail. But yeah, that's why when you get arrested for committing a crime, even though you still you have an opportunity to defend yourself in court, you do go to jail first. That's how it works, and then the bail is so that they make sure you come back, right? It's just kind of how the law works. It's just kind of how the law works.
A lot of people didn't get bail, right?
Which ones didn't get bail? How many? Does anybody know the answer to that? I don't think it's that many. I've heard this before, and I don't think it's that many. How many? Because that was if Marjorie Taylor Greene said it, it's almost 100% false.
I mean,
it's just like how it works.
We probably got enough to at least arrest him.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, you saw the video. It sounds like you do know. I've heard you say that you know.
So the video that I saw was actually just a picture of him. It was somebody else making a video. I don't know if we have video, but it just shows him like holding the fire alarm.
Yeah, you know the best part about it? I think this guy was a principal in a high school too. It's like I think this guy was probably trained on fire alarms.
Listen, that's us on the left. This is as violent as we get. We pull fire alarms, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's about all I got. Just try to bring some common sense to the this
hey, listen,
platform.
I support the investigation. into Jamal Bowman's horrific actions. I support the investigation. We can be unified in that. We found some bipartisanship here today. We both are supporting the investigation into Jamal Bowman.
Yeah, I want to do the investigation after the arrest, though. I think that'd be more fair. It'd feel like we were all in the same legal system.
Well, yeah, so the way that works is because he wasn't arrested, those people were arrested in the act, right? He wasn't arrested in the act.
No, they were arrested afterwards. I don't think they arrested anybody on the day of J6.
No, I'm pretty sure those are the ones that were there without bail.
I don't think they arrested a single person on J6.
You might be right. I have no idea the answer to that question.
Yeah, but I am glad. Like, it seems like everywhere I go, I'm getting leftist talk shitting. Like, they're talking shit on other leftists for being just hateful people. Leftists talking about voting for Trump, even if it's a joke. I love to hear it.
Oh, good. Good. Well, I'm glad we could provide you a safe place.
All right. And then, so which part of the country do I live in?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Do you want me to say where you live, or like what are you trying to?
I'm just talking like
broadly.
Midwest.
You're in one of the four corner states.
I was hoping that you would remember, so maybe you could convert me.
You are. Oh, that's right. You are in the Midwest. That's correct. You're in the Midwest. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. All right.
You have a good
Enjoy
day,
the
dude.
Midwest. We'll see
Yeah.
ya. I see what it's doing there. There we go. Look, this is the stuff we got to talk about. We got to talk about Jamal Bowman pulling a fire alarm. This is the important things. This is what we're going to hear about for a couple of days. This is going to be a big talking point, and it's very important. It's very important that we don't have people pulling fire alarms ever again. I'd like to see a commission. I'd like to see maybe the House Judiciary. I think they ought to investigate this. That's what we need to do. Let's do it. And then at the end of that, if he were to be found guilty, then what we need to do is we need to say, well, you got to drop all the investigations into Trump on that one, right? That's how we have to do this. Look, if they want to investigate him, I could give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if Jamal Bowman really did pull it and there's a punishment, like whatever. I do not care. I don't care one bit. I don't care about like that tit for tat shit. Who cares? But it's funny. Either if this was a Republican, like if this was Matt Gaetz, I promise you I would think it was funny. I would still think it was funny. What do we have here? Okay, so the people, I'm seeing this, I think this was for the people that were held without bail, all are accused of assaulting law enforcement officers. So it's all serious criminal offenses. Thank you, Discord, for that. Thank you. And in all fairness, Jamal Bowman he assaulted that fire alarm. Okay, that fire alarm was just sitting there where it wanted to be, and he just pulled it right down. How's that not assault? It's the same thing, right? Why are they not focused on the fact that House Republicans proposed budget? Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point, Jason Allison. How about this? The Republicans are so mad about spending. So mad, right? And so they decided to propose a new bill, and the spending that they decided to add to it was a raise for themselves. How do you feel about that, Republicans? You think that Congress should be giving themselves more money? You're going to complain about Ukraine a lot. Going to complain about hotel rooms for people coming over here to work. You can complain about cell phones. You're going to complain about giving money to homeless people probably. But are you ever going to complain about Republicans trying to shut down the government and coming back with a response of let's give ourselves a raise? You ever going to talk about that? I'm going to guess no, that you're not going to talk about that. Josh, welcome. Republicans trying to shut down the government. Woo. Echo, Josh, what's up?
Yo, what's up? I just want to ask a few questions
Sure.
from the UK. How did the economy go under Trump compared to how it's gone under Biden?
What does that mean?
Now, how's the economy gone? Is it grown or is it shrank?
Depends on
Did it
like
grow under
what are we
Trump?
talking? Are we talking about when you say the economy? What do you mean though by that? Are you talking about jobs? Are you talking about stock market? What are you talking about?
Just like as a whole, the economy, did it grow or did it shrink? I mean,
You
like
can't
jobs,
really
stock
like
market, everything.
you can't really say like did it grow or not grow, like the whole economy. But the stock market's higher. We have less people unemployed now than during the Trump presidency. I would say economically, we're probably in, at least from those indicators, in a little bit better place. The only real difference that we have is global inflation, which is felt all around the world, and we'd have a hard time arguing that that's Joe Biden's fault, especially considering out of all the G7 countries, we recovered the best. So you actually could probably argue that Joe Biden, that's a win for Joe Biden.
Is it the economy? The economy is a win for Joe Biden. Okay. Okay. What was the unemployment like for ethnic minorities, black people, for instance?
It's lower
in
now
America?
than it ever was during any time during the Trump presidency. Where are you going? Where are you going? Well, look, you can say, yeah. Oh, lost you for a second.
Quality of living. Do you think the quality of living in America is better now than it was when Trump was in?
Well, it depends on which time of the Trump president. Do I believe it's better now than it was during COVID? No. Do I believe it's it's better now than during COVID for sure? But is it better now than maybe like the first 2 years of the Trump presidency? No. But we also had COVID. I would blame almost all of that on a global shutdown. And then I would also say that like not just allowing a bunch of billionaires and millionaires to suck up all the money that we gave for like COVID relief and not being able to collect on that money. Like I think that's probably a problem too.
So right now you guys can't can't agree on much, can you? So you're actually going to shut down shutting something down, isn't that in the works?
It
right now?
didn't happen. They do have a stopgap, so now we got 45 more days. They're trying to agree on the budget.
Agree on the budget. What would happen? So what happens with that? Then? They end up they stop paying everyone. They don't stop paying all officials like military officials and stuff like that, and absolutely anyone from the government. But they keep working.
Yep.
Would that with the amount of fighting aged men coming into your country, is that not a concern? And I'm on about the thousands coming from China and they're coming into England as well.
What does that have to do with the shutdown? What does that have to do with this?
Well, I mean, like if you're going to kind of stop the funding, and it's not, if these people have got to find maybe other means to get money outside their job, they're going to be tired, especially people in the army and stuff like that. Do you think that they're going to be? Do you think that they'll be ready to fight, say, if there was an invasion?
Yeah.
You think, and they think that they will be completely on top. They have plenty of energy, even though they might have to work second jobs and stuff like that to keep themselves fed.
Well, I don't think they would be working second jobs because they keep working. The chances of the government shutting down are probably high. A government shutdown usually doesn't last a long time. It's literally just like a political game that hurts people in the short term. Like during Trump's presidency, we shut down for 34 days.
All right.
Did you know that? Did you know that, Josh?
No, I didn't. So what's happening with Fauci then at the moment?
What about him? He's retired.
Yeah, he's getting in trouble though, isn't he?
No. Who's he getting in trouble by?
That's what it sounds like over here in the UK. They just don't.
What's he getting in trouble for?
Lying in Congress.
What did he lie about?
About changing the definition of gain of function research.
No, he didn't. That's not how that gain of function conversation went. That was between him and Rand Paul, and they had a difference of opinion of what gain of function meant. And there is scientific disagreement, by the way, on exactly like what gain of function means. There are people who agree with Rand Paul. There are people who agree with Dr. Fauci. But that was really more or less just like a difference of definition.
So to you personally, I need to ask you personally, do you think it's a little bit, a little bit fishy what happened in Wuhan, or do you still think it came from a bat?
I don't know where it came from. I don't think we'll ever know. I think that it's certainly likely that it could have been a lab leak. It can be. There's a lot of things that seem like there's evidence that could lead to believe it was that. But because it's in Wuhan and because I don't think we're going to have access, I doubt we'll ever actually be able to definitively know that the answer to that question.
Okay. So what are your opinions on Joe Biden when he's in? It just got brought up in Congress. I can't remember what it was, but he was in a conference and he was talking about how, he bribed someone with millions of dollars and said that, look, we're not going to pay you. And he literally said that. There are his
Yeah, you're
words.
talking.
Look,
Yeah,
we're not going to pay you.
you
unless
you
you
really don't know what this is. Like,
And then
you
they
really
drop.
don't.
And then they dropped the case. They just like dropped the case straight
Do
away.
you know? Yeah, where was this case? Did you say?
It was okay. It was somewhere in Europe, I think. I just remember.
My question is, I guess my question is, why? Like, what are you doing? Why are you asking? Like, you don't have the specifics on any of this.
No, I mean, I'm just
It's
saying.
weird. It's weird. It seems that you have like a whole bunch of right wing talking points, and that's all you have. This is another. This also seems like another person who's just reading off a script to try so that people, while you're reading this, like can hope that I stumble, and then they can report me. That's what this feels like to me. Feels like
No,
you're reading
but-
off of a script. Yeah, because you haven't responded to anything I said. You just move from topic to topic to topic, and all of these topics are kind of controversial. So I'm just wondering, like, do you get paid to do this, or what's the?
No, I'm just
no. So why don't you know
personally-
anything about the stuff that you're talking about, but you have very specific questions?
Because I'm asking for your opinion on what I've
But
seen.
why don't you know anything about these things?
Because I'm just saying what I've seen, like simply what I've seen, and I want you to know your opinion.
Well,
I'm
you
not-
haven't seen.
I'm left
You don't
or
know
right.
what you've
I'm
seen.
just
Why don't
saying.
you just Google this?
But I mean, I have Googled it, and it is obviously, it's in.
So you don't know who Joe Biden's, like, where the money was being withheld? This is literally like the biggest story in America right now, and you don't know it?
Yeah, no.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows who Joe Biden was talking to. Everybody knows that.
That's why I'm asking you.
No, but why don't you know? Like, aren't you a blogger?
Because I'm English. Because I'm
Aren't
English.
you a blogger?
No, because I'm English.
Not?
And
Are you
I'm
not
just,
a blogger?
I'm English, and I'm asking your opinion.
I'm asking you if you're a blogger. Why do you keep avoiding that? I know you're English.
No, I'm not a
Okay.
blogger. I'm not a blogger.
So do
I'm
you
just
not
asking-
do you not have Google? What's the deal here?
Because you seem pretty clued up. I'm asking you what you think.
Well, you keep asking me like the most bizarre questions in the weirdest secession. Like, what do you? I guess you can keep asking questions if you'd like.
Yeah, I was just that's all. I'm just asking your opinion. I'm neither left or right. I'm just saying I've seen.
First of all, you are right, and you're full of nonsense if you're not going to sit here and pretend that you're on the right.
My honest opinion is that most governments are just middle management for.
That's what everybody said. That's what everybody says. Because if you had an honest opinion, you would then be able to point out some good things about Joe Biden or some bad things about Donald Trump. And the bad things about Donald Trump wouldn't be, I think he talks too much.
The bad thing about Donald Trump is he didn't finish the wall.
You're such a right winger. Nobody criticizing Donald Trump is criticizing him for not finishing the wall. You're like, get out of here.
Oh,
with
no,
that.
no, no.
You're just why do you guys refuse to be authentic? Why do you refuse to just be like, yeah, I'm a right winger?
No, I don't. I believe
Sure, you think everybody in America is upset at Donald Trump for not finishing the wall. Who is criticizing Donald Trump for not finishing the wall?
I believe that they're both. It's all bread and circuses, but with a more of a scary. Bread
I know,
and
but that's what cowards do when they don't actually have it. So like, let's give me a real criticism of Donald Trump. Give me a real criticism.
What's bad about Donald Trump? I mean, he has no.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Give me a real criticism of Joe Biden first, and we'll go back to Trump. What's a real criticism of Joe Biden?
I've read a lot of that is like pretty dodgy, like, and he can't even speak words. Like he sounds like he's.
See how easy that was for you to come up with stuff about Joe Biden, but you couldn't come up with one thing about Trump. This is why I think you're a right winger. I give you the opportunity. I was clearly setting you up too. You didn't even see the setup coming. Like, clearly you're a right winger. You're just a right winger who doesn't like Joe Biden, and you were so quick to come to that. But I asked you to say one thing about Donald Trump, and you're like,
No, not all. My honest opinion is that
I know they're both bad. I get it. We heard that already. But what's a criticism of Donald Trump?
My opinion is we're all slaves still, and you best.
What's a criticism of Donald Trump? What's a criticism of Donald Trump?
He has no real background in politics.
That's what your criticism is. Well, yeah, you're so phony. You are such a phony. You should be a little bit more embarrassed. You should have more pride than this. This is embarrassing, dude.
I'm trying to work out bad things about Trump.
Yeah, I know it's so hard. What could you possibly come up with? There's so little on him that you could possibly criticize. We better think about it for a while.
I mean, what did he say? He said he needed to get some more votes. and like people don't like that. So yeah, he did that. That was pretty bad. Like people think that's a bad thing. Just saying
Do
we
you
need to
think
get
it's a
more
bad
votes.
thing? Do you think it's a bad thing?
Well, simply saying that I need more votes. I mean, it's probably not as
Okay,
bad
so
as
it
like.
wasn't. So it wasn't a criticism then. It's just what you've heard other people criticize him about, and you framed it in the most dishonest way possible. You're talking about something that, like, he's talking to the governor and the people who ran the election, where they're saying, like, hey, we investigated all of this and you're wrong. And he says, just give me some more votes. And you're like, yeah, he's just asking for more votes. What's wrong with that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because that would be like trying to steal an election.
What you on about? You on about? Yeah, but he putting it across as he said he needed some more votes, as if to say, "Give me some fake votes." Or did
Yeah,
he
that's
not say-
exactly what it appeared to be doing, because because you didn't listen to this call. Every criticism he brought up, the governor and the Secretary of State were like, "Hey, no, we looked into this. That you're wrong. That's not what happened." And he would say, "Well, I don't believe you." And then at the end, he's like, and then he got so frustrated because they kept telling him, like, no, you're wrong. They kept correcting his information. Eventually, he said, guys, I just need whatever the number was, like 11,000 votes. Give me a break. After he tried to convince them that their election was, like, fraudulent and there were all these votes that were wrong, after he wasn't able to answer any of those and his lawyers were stumped, then he's like, come on, all I need is 11,000.
In my opinion, when I heard a bit of that, and I don't think it was fake votes. I think he was like, "Shit, we need to get some more votes sorted out. We need to get more people voting for us."
Okay, but the votes were over. What are you talking about? The vote had already happened. This was months. This was like after the election was done. People had already voted. Nobody could vote anymore. He wasn't out there campaigning for more people to go vote.
So what? So how long does it take for you to count
Jesus
votes?
Christ, man! Do you understand what I'm saying? Wait, hold on. Do you understand that this all happened after the election? Voting was done.
Why? How long does it take to count votes?
Do you understand? No, listen, you're saying, you just said he was advocating to get more people to vote. He clearly was not doing that, right?
I'm trying to work out how you're saying that.
He clearly, listen, do you know how voting works? I don't know how it works in the UK, but in our country, you vote either through mail-in ballots, and your cutoff is supposed to be the 6th, or not the 6th, excuse me, on election day. That's supposed to be your cutoff. Certain states, there's a little wiggle room of when it has to come in, right? So if months later down the road, after the vote has already happened, if you're asking to find more votes, it's never, hey, we need more people to get out and vote.
I just don't understand how you take months to count some votes. It takes like a few days.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not surprised that you don't understand that, but that's how it works. So
That's
votes come in
insane.
from all over. Yeah, votes come in from different areas all over the state, and they in a lot of places they're counting by hand, and then you then have to go through the votes that are contested. So if you're not sure like where they voted, or if there's a signature discrepancy, you then have to sit with a Republican and a Democrat, and you have to decide if that vote is going to count. Then you have recounts, and you're checking your counts against the counts from the machines. It's a process. It's very difficult. And it's very difficult made in part because people don't want to just do mail-in voting. People want to have that in-person voting, and that makes things a lot more complicated because then you have a bunch of loose papers in boxes that you have to get all together. You have to count them. You have to keep them secure. You have to hire people to watch over them. You have to hire people, or not hire, I guess, have people there to count. It's a process, dude. There's 300, we had 150 million people vote. That's a process.
So there's a lot of people that vote. Okay. So, another thing, bad things about Trump. Bad thing about Trump, he's turned made a lot of animosity with the abortion stuff. Like, I don't agree with him on that. I think that's...
No, actually, Donald Trump is at odds with the Republican Party, where he's actually saying that, like, he doesn't agree that there should be a total ban. Most of the pushback he's getting on Republicans comes from the fact that he's too liberal.
All right.
Like,
so,
dude, I'm going to ask questions now because I'm sick of your freaking script questions. I said I'm going to ask questions now. That wasn't an invitation for you to interrupt me. Like, what are you doing?
I'm finding out from American.
I know, but why? Like, what are you doing? Like, your own channel looks like it's just a right-wing thing. You've got a GoFundMe up there for some reason. I'm not sure why you have GoFundMe. And you're on here just like rapid firing asking questions. Like, are you trying to learn anything? If you don't know, then why are you just?
I'm learning.
Because as soon as I answer, you just go to the next thing. Like, what are you doing? And I've talked to you before, and you still show back up pretending to be in the middle, and you're clearly a right winger. I don't know what you're doing. This is weird.
No. You. I mean, you've said that. Like, you've assumed that of me, but no, you don't know my opinion on.
I don't care. I'm asking you a question. Stop being offended.
What am I doing?
Yeah,
I'm just gathering information from.
Why don't you just Google this?
Because Google's biased.
Oh my god! But I'm not. Like, I'm a liberal. I'm biased too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're an actual person. You're not just like a computer.
You're exhausting, man. You're exhausting. Yeah, I'm bored of this. I'm just honestly bored. Like, I don't. I'm pretty sure you're just like a troll. I don't know, but this is one of the.
I'm not a troll.
This is one of. It's like it's a brain dead conversation. It really is. It's going nowhere.
How is it?
You're kind of. I think you're kind of a fraud. Like, you can't say actual bad things about Trump. You really can't. You don't have any of your facts right at all. You're just a right winger who comes on to try to play middle ground and then complain about what Joe Biden's doing this whole time.
No, I don't. I've complained about both. I don't know where you got that from. I'll be honest. I think that I honestly think they're both on the same side. I know,
but that's dumb.
I think it's bread and circuses to keep America divided, and it's just and that's just how it is. And you can look and see why.
You can look. See, the thing is, Josh, is the reason we're divided is because of people in our country that are just like you, who refuse to educate themselves and just show up and ask a bunch of questions. And even if you did just believe me, why would you just believe me? I'm not giving you any sources. So why don't you go to a place where you can check sources? Is this is how you acquire your information?
No, I like to just know different people's opinion.
Well, here's what I'd recommend: figure out what's going on first before you care about people's opinions.
I know.
Learn about facts. Like, learn how to fact check things before you care about opinion.
I know. That's what I would do. I know what's going on.
You do not know what's going on. You are remarkably uninformed.
You can look simply at that. You just follow the money. It's quite
there we
simple.
go. Yeah. Now we're generic statement. I know what's going on. Follow the money. Do your own research. Everybody's the same. Yeah, I know. You're generic.
I'm not a student.
Do you have any specifics to back that up? Where's the money going? Follow the money. Where's the money going?
You don't research.
Where's the money going, Josh?
Where is the money going? You can. Firstly, it's not researching. You research if you're a student.
Where's the money going, Josh?
You investigate.
Where's the money going, Josh?
So I investigate, and then you can.
Where is the money going, Josh?
To an oligarchy.
Who is the oligarchy?
Just everyone that runs. They're in BlackRock, Vanguard. Anyone that has.
Yeah. See what I mean? You don't know what you know nothing.
So
like you know almost nothing. You think that you're smart when you're like, oh, it's all going up to the top. Everything just sucks anyways. No, it's like an uneducated, cowardly view where you think that you actually sound like you know more than others when you say that. You're like, you just got to look at it. And when I ask you to look at it, you're like, I don't know where anything goes. I don't know.
Right. Instead of just because you're American, you think talking over people and not listening makes you right. It doesn't.
You're not saying anything, and now you're attacking me for being American. By the way, 1-0. Thanks a lot, Revolutionary War. Take that, UK. But you don't. But I'm not. It has nothing to do with me being American or you being from the UK. It has everything to do with you being so poorly informed that I have to constantly stop you and correct a dumb thing you said. Okay. Bye, sweetheart. I love you. I hope you have a really, really good day. Stop talking over him. No, Big Will. No. When people say dumb things, I talk over them. Moderate. Please be a real moderate. Never debate again, Josh. Moderate, welcome. Maybe not. Didn't pull up. And we got an eagle here. Fly, eagle, fly. Welcome.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Guess I'm not really sure what the main topic. I kind of caught the tail end of that last conversation. I have no idea what the main topic is.
I'm not 100% sure what his topic was either, to be honest. So you can just start with yours if you'd like. You just brought up a lot of different things.
Sure. So why would I vote for Trump? I mean, a brief history, 2008.
You voted for Obama.
Yeah, I voted for Obama.
Yeah, we know.
It felt like the right thing to do. And when I think back, it was for the wrong reasons. It was mostly because, hey, let's give, the whole spiel of let's give a minority a chance and he's well-spoken and all that kind of stuff. And I was young. I just went along with the crowd and I didn't know much about politics in general. 2012, I didn't vote at all because I felt like I wasn't really informed.
Can I just take a guess how this is going to go? 2016, you were a Bernie Sanders.
2016, I thought they were both bad candidates. I didn't vote at all.
But you were like Bernie Sanders.
I can't stand Bernie Sanders. No.
Okay, that's good news. All right, so both back. So you didn't vote in 2016.
No, so 2016, I would say I was probably moderate, right in the middle. Wasn't really sure. I thought Trump had no idea what he was doing. He was more of like it was for publicity or to get whatever, the limelight. And in Hillary, I just never trusted Hillary. I don't trust career politicians. I try not to. I'm a little wary of that. And then around 2018, 2019, I think it's just, I live in Los Angeles, man. So like I'm in like left central, right? And I just think that, like, so many topics came up where if I didn't share the same opinion, I would just get like ostracized. Like I would, you're a bigot, so you don't agree with us. It's like, well, I haven't formed an opinion, So at some point in 2020, I started becoming a little more conservative. I didn't become a Trump fan. I just became like, I couldn't align myself with the left anymore because it was just getting out of hand.
Because people were mean to you?
No, it's not that they were mean to me. It's that if I don't fully agree with a point, it's like you're a bigot, you're homophobic, you're racist. You're
was it a bigoted or homophobic opinion?
Of course not.
Well, what was it? What did they say that they said made you a bigot?
So you want me to go through 2 years of like the specific conversations?
I don't know.
I mean, you can read between the lines. I'm sure if you don't agree with the left fully, typically you're like, okay, so you're either with us or against us. It's like
you're that's just not true, though. That's just absolutely not true. That's literally what MAGA is. In MAGA, like my family, I have family that disowned me just simply for talking bad about Donald Trump. Donald Trump fires anybody who doesn't agree with him. The most hated people in the GOP are hated because they voted to impeach Trump. That's it. Like they don't like Romney, they don't like Liz Cheney, they didn't like John McCain. Anybody who dares to say something about Donald Trump is a rhino, and they get run out of the party. Jeff Flake happens all the time.
What does that have to do with me? I haven't brought up Trump once.
I just brought up Trump. I said what you're describing is literal. Well, because you're saying that's what you hate, but then you're going to a party that literally does that.
A party no. There's people who vote for Trump who they don't line themselves with the Republicans, and vice versa.
Sure.
There's a difference, right? So there's people who are like, oh, I'm fully Republican, I'll never vote for Trump. And there's people who would only vote for Trump and aren't really Republican, they just like Trump.
Right. It was just about your idea that, like, one, you said the left is like uniformly aligned, which is crazy. Like that doesn't happen. The left, one of our biggest problems is that we never stop fighting with each other. You can go look at my clips. I just like a bunch of people got mad at me for asking Marianne Williamson like a tough question. Right? That just doesn't describe the left. It really doesn't. That's all. That was really my only point, is that that's not what happens on the left. It sounds like you had some right-wing views that leftists didn't agree with, and maybe some of those views they thought were bigoted or homophobic.
Yeah, let's take one topic for example, just one specific one, right? So let's say somebody, the whole issue with like pronouns or the trans issue. It's huge in LA, right? I'm like 6 minutes from West Hollywood, which is like 80% gay. Okay. And if a topic comes up, something about like, would you respect using somebody's pronouns? I'm like, yeah, no issue. I don't go out of my way to not use pronouns. But if somebody says, oh well, if you misgender me, you're a bigot or you're not sensitive. It's like, well, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe just the fact that you're trying to force me to use something, it just makes me less open to that idea. Not because I don't agree with it, but it's because you're basically saying, if you don't do this, you're a bigot, you're against us. It's like, well, let me at least think about it. Let me
Would you think I was being disrespectful if I kept saying yes, ma'am to you today? Do you think that would be disrespectful?
No.
Come on.
I mean, you'd be wrong.
You think that if everything you said today I was like, yes, ma'am, you wouldn't be like, dude, what's this guy doing? Like, he's just trying to like.
No. So I'm glad you brought that up. I think it'd be funny because everyone around you would think you're delusional or you're making a joke. I don't need you to confirm that I'm a guy to know that I'm a guy. On the opposite side, if you misgender somebody, it's because they want you to go along with something you're trying to convince themselves of. I don't need you to convince me I'm a guy.
Wait. See, this is where I think maybe you get in trouble, because you said them trying to convince themselves. You think people are trying to convince themselves of who they are?
They're convincing society.
They're telling you who they are. Like, why do you think people don't have the right to tell you who they are? Why do you think people like self-identity is such a problem?
Wait, so can I tell you what I am?
Sure.
And it could be whatever I want.
Well, within reason, right?
Okay? Well, the minute you say within reason, then you've lost it, because
why?
The whole pronoun thing has nothing to do with reason. It has to do with people choosing to identify themselves. No, it doesn't. So how many pronouns are there? How many genders are there?
Nobody knows.
Exactly. Nobody knows, because it's a made up number. Some people say, "Oh,
who cares? Who cares?" Why?
Obviously,
everybody has a different. Literally, everybody in this country has a different name, right? Like we all have our own age. We already, and we can change that name, or we can ask to be called by a nickname. We already identify. We identify as Christians. Like
it has nothing to do with gender. It has to do
doesn't
with,
matter if it has everything to do with it has everything to do with being able to identify how you want to identify.
No, it doesn't.
Like, yes, it does. Is it okay? Is it okay to identify as a Christian?
Is Christian a gender?
No, is it okay to identify as a Christian?
This is how weak your argument is.
Is it okay to identify as a Christian? Is it okay to identify as a Christian?
You can't even stay on topic.
Is it okay to identify as a Christian? Is it okay to identify as a Christian?
You can't even speak facts.
Is it okay to identify as a Christian?
Here you go.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. The reason you don't want to answer this question is, and the reason you want to stick just to gender is because there was already a social norm. There was already this idea in a lot of people's heads that there was just like male and female, man and woman, right? So you want to return. That's not biology, you potato. That's English. It's literally linguistics. All of this is linguistics.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, all of this is linguistics. But I'm not quite done yet, and then you can you can shut up while I finish. Shush, and I'm going to finish, and then you can answer then you can ask your question, okay? The reason you don't want me to talk about Christianity, and the reason now you're going to go to biology, is now you care about science. But if I said, can you identify as a Christian, you'd say, of course you can, but we're not going to bring science into that, are we? We're not going to bring science into that.
Religion is not science. You're literally
exactly. But why can you identify as a Christian?
Because
why can you identify as a Christian then?
Because a Christian
is religion. I'm asking a question, please. I'm asking a question, please. Why can you identify? Because all we're talking about is identity, how we identify.
Okay, what's a Christian then? Define a Christian.
I think a Christian is somebody who says they're a Christian.
Wow. Okay, so can you be a Christian and not believe in Christ? Can you be a Christian and not believe in Christ?
Sure, if you could say, yeah, sure.
You're an idiot. You're an absolute fucking idiot. You really are. Because you don't know what a
Christian is. Good argument, dude. That's a really good argument.
What's a Christian?
Because I can identify however I want.
No, you can't. Because you're
Yes, I can. I'm a Christian.
This is the issue with liberals.
I'm a Christian. What's the problem with me identifying as a Christian if I don't believe in Jesus? No, what's the problem with identifying as a Christian if I don't believe in Jesus? Now, what is the problem with me identifying as a Christian if I don't believe in Jesus? Who's getting hurt by that? Who is getting hurt by that?
You're being delusional.
Who's being hurt by that?
Reality. If you want to make up lies, go ahead. You don't know what a Christian is.
Reality, full chest. Reality is getting hurt. Reality is getting hurt.
The fact that you don't know what a Christian is, and you're trying to
I know what a Christian is. I don't care what a Christian is. I don't care how somebody identifies.
What is it?
A Christian is somebody who says they're a Christian, and even Christians don't agree with what a Christian is. For example, some Christians believe in the Trinity. Some Christians do not believe in the Trinity. Some Christians believe in a living prophet. Some Christians don't believe in a living prophet. Some Christians believe that just the Old Testament and the New Testament are the full word of God. Other Christians believe that there's other texts that also testify of Christ. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can be a Christian, and the way that you identify who's who is the way they identify. You ask them. It's all identity, dude. Like, why are you so triggered by identity?
You're triggered. Your definition.
I'm not
when
triggered.
I ask you what your definition is,
you got butthurt because your feelings are so hurt because apparently because somebody called you a bigot, and then it turns out like, oh, it's because you were saying things that were bigoted.
You can't even define, bro. Okay, what's a man? What's a woman? What do those words mean?
A man is somebody who identifies as a man.
So you use the word in the same definition.
That's okay. I know you're going to do this circular thing, but that's okay.
That's what you just did. That's circular.
No, I know.
Man is a man?
No, that's okay.
Hold on.
What is a Christian?
What's a dog? What's a dog? Hold on. What's a dog?
A dog is a dog.
You're a fucking idiot.
You want me to pull up the definition of a dog? See, your arguments are. Here's the problem with your arguments is that you think that there's only one answer. So when I don't give you the answer, you literally don't have a counter argument. You're just like, you're dumb. Make a counter argument, dude. No, he just ran. That's it. I'm going to pull up the definition of a dog real quick. So we got that. A domesticated carnivorous mammal that typically has a long snout, an acute sense of smell, non-retractable claws, and a barking, howling, or whining voice. Hey, ran faster than Christian McCaffrey. Shout out Niners. Oh, he's here. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just accidentally dropped. Hey, Josh.
I had to go because I was getting food. I got a question. Honest question.
Oh, wait, you weren't the same guy. Sorry, I want to drop you again. No, I don't want to talk to you. Sorry, I thought you were the last guy I was talking to. I don't want to talk to you. You're boring. There was somebody else waiting. Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how you guys doing? So I'm from South Africa. You'll hear that in my accent. We just can't get rid of this accent. We tried. Believe me, we tried.
Can I tell you, one of my best friends was South African, and I went with his dad to McDonald's one time, and because of his accent, he would mess with people. And he would go to the drive-thru, and he would say, I'll have the biggie fries, 39 cents. And they're like, okay, what do you want a biggie size? He's like, nothing, just biggie size, 39 cents. And eventually, like, sometimes he would get it. They would just give him the fries and the drink because he would just pretend he didn't know what they were talking about and use his accent. He was my favorite person. He just recently passed away. There's my memory of him.
We used to make jokes of our own accent as children, trying to imitate different accents. And we couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it.
I'm sorry.
We found it very funny. But in any case, I'm in South Africa and I've been watching this whole thing on YouTube and on the news and on everything for a lot of years, And then in 2014, I was brought to Texas by some billionaires who just liked me and took me and my girlfriend there to hang around, to come and meet them because they came to meet me. I've got tigers and stuff at my house. And I've got 180
You like the South African Tiger King? What's going on?
Yeah, I am.
Do you also have a problem with Carol Baskins? How do you feel about Carol Baskin?
No problem with her.
Okay, no problem with Carol.
I don't get problems like that. You have to really get up someone's nerves to pick up problems. I try and not do that. But, when we were there, our rand is very weak. It was about 16 to 1 to the dollar. And we've always had that problem. We are just poorer. And they were extremely rich. But it didn't make a difference because we could get along. We had the same iPhones as the billionaires. You know what I mean? And we're from South Africa. And that was when Trump started running for president, and they didn't like it much. And I didn't have an opinion. I didn't even know nothing about the American system, the Democrats and the Republicans. So I don't know which one would I even vote for. But I'm like totally an outsider. But now what I want to say, because I don't know if your question is why would you vote for Trump? I don't know if you like Trump or not. I
do not.
late into this conversation. Oh, you do not?
No.
Okay, but now I can tell you my job now, I'm a YouTuber. And I do that for money. I do that so that my whole system can exist. And I'll tell you, I was in trouble last week. My house almost got auctioned. And all my animals would have been put down. And of course, YouTube is not doing that great anymore. They pay me okay, but not enough. I fell behind. But when Trump was president, the thing that I noticed was I was getting paid like $20,000 a month from Google. And that built everything. It was not only an American economy, it was a world economy that was growing. And I actually benefited from that.
No, you
But
didn't.
then,
No, you didn't.
but now you must remember.
Listen. Before, when Trump took over in 2016, I guess 2017, the economy was in good shape. It was already booming. The thing, like, to say that you were doing well under a world economy and somehow that was Trump, like, come on, dude.
I don't know, but the advertising was there, you know.
Well, yeah,
And
but do you know? Do you remember
I
COVID?
saw.
Do you remember that COVID happened?
Yeah, no, we had the
Yeah.
same thing. I was doing okay during COVID because
Yeah, but
everybody
yeah,
was
I
home
know, but
watching
like,
videos.
yeah, I know, but then what happened is, of course, you were doing okay during COVID. You know why you were doing okay during COVID? Because everybody was sitting in their houses
Everybody was
watching
home.
YouTube. And you make your money off
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, and when people went back
But
to
I was
work,
talking
when people
before
went
that.
back to work, they couldn't watch YouTube as much. That happened to every
It's true,
content.
it's true.
Like, that's literally what happened with content creators.
Yeah, yeah. And you know,
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
doing
not. This
still
isn't like
okay
a
on
Trump
it,
thing.
but
Trump didn't do that for you, unless you're saying that he caused COVID. In which case,
no,
sure, I guess.
I'm
But
just saying that for a long time I suffered. I had to really work my ass off to keep these animals fed. And you know, it's monkeys. It's I take in rescue animals. I'm a private guy. I take in animals because there's people just moving to New Zealand. They leave their animals and they have to end up somewhere. And I'm usually the sucker and take them on. And but I'm okay. I'm happy with that. I can look myself in the eye when I do that. You know, I can be happy with myself. And but then when the economy started booming, I had the boom as well, and I really did benefit from it. I bought
yeah,
a
but
new car,
but dude,
and
listen. Hold on. Less people are watching your videos. I also work in content creation. If less people are
okay.
watching my videos, I need to change my videos. It's possible that people found your channel and they liked it and then they got bored with it. It's also possible that you caught a huge boom because Tiger King came out. You most likely got a boom because Tiger King came out. You had a bunch of people sitting at home. You had a documentary about Tiger King. You had all the best, the best possible conditions for you to succeed were happening at that time. Well, now nobody cares about Tiger King so much anymore, and everybody's back to work. Your content needs to evolve. You shouldn't be. This isn't like Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. This is like your content didn't evolve, or people don't care about your content anymore. It's one of those two things. But this isn't like if Trump gets back in office, then all of a sudden your views are going to go back up. I think it's bananas. You know what would help if he would have pardoned the Tiger King? That might have given you a little boost for a while. What I would recommend for you, Michael, I would recommend adding a little drama, making some videos about Carol Baskin. Maybe see if you can get Tiger King. Maybe do a podcast, interview him, because two fellow Tiger guys. Maybe see if you can get him on the phone from jail, and you guys can talk Tigers, and then post that video, and maybe the views will bump up. But I think what you're describing here is what happens to a lot of content creators, where they think when they get views, then they're just entitled to views forever and ever and ever, and those views eventually wane if you don't evolve.
Yeah, I thought about that. I doubt it because where does the money come from? Where does the money come from?
The money on
The
YouTube
money
that
has
the
to
money
come
that you're
from
getting on
somebody
YouTube
who
comes from views and
advertised.
advertisers. So people pay money to Google, which is YouTube, and then YouTube disperses that advertising money through to creators based on the amount of views, watch time, as long as you're not like violating their terms of service. There's different tiers for how many subscribers you have.
Yeah, I'm on very good foot with them. I'm on
Yes.
very good foot with them.
Right.
But
So
do you?
if you're
this
making
question, I
less
would like
money,
to get your opinion.
wait, did your view numbers
I
go
would like
down?
to. I would like to hear your opinion
Michael, are
on
your views
what
down?
do you think?
Michael, are your views down?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think my views are mostly down because all views are down. Uh, I
Oh my God,
think
you're so
TikTok
close. You're so close,
really
dude. You're so close to this.
hurt
Okay, hold on. Let's stay here.
YouTube
Why? No, let's stay here. Why do you think views went down for everybody?
because I was doing about
No,
20
no, no, no,
million
no,
views
no, no,
a
no.
month.
Why do you
And
think
then
views
all of a
went down
sudden
for
TikTok
everybody?
came out, and because I cannot find anywhere where they publish their views.
Oh my
It's
God.
like it's a hidden secret.
It's not a hidden
Uh,
secret.
I've
So I
been
have YouTube as
I've been
well, and you're much more.
questioning myself.
Listen, I have YouTube as well, and you're much more successful than me. But there's a plugin that you can get that connects to your YouTube. It's called vidIQ. Free promotion, vidIQ. Here you go. Get vidIQ. You can look at your demographics. You can look at when you get clicks. You can look at when your viewership is online. You can see what keywords are trending with your type of topics. Your views went down, Michael, and you're blaming the wrong people. You're blaming everybody but yourself. There are tools that can help you be successful.
Yeah,
Just use
I
those.
can
Just
still
use those
see
tools.
that.
But the wrong thing to do is to come on and think that the president of the United States, for some reason, had something to do with your Tiger views going down.
I'm just
My brother.
thinking that
But I gotta tell
the
you, but
better an
I know.
economy
Listen,
is
hold
doing.
on. I have a hard cutoff at 1. I don't mean to cut you off. I would let you keep going, but I've got a hard cutoff at 1. I gotta go see my daughter, so I've got to cut you loose here. But you're welcome to come back another time. Okay.
All right,
All right, brother. Be
no
well.
problem.
God bless South Africa. That's it for me today. The light died in time. That's my reminder. Just a reminder, in my link tree, we do have some merch. We have the Shushies stuff. We've got some t-shirts. We have hats like this. I've got a Shushies hat that I should have probably had ready for this, but I forgot. There's some fun stuff in there. Thank you for all the new subscribers today. Just a reminder, we did drop the subscriber price from $5.99 to $2.99. The lowest amount TikTok will let us charge. That just gives you access to all these little stickers and things. And, of course, as always, we have a Discord. Our Discord's lively, and they're wonderful, and they're hilarious. If you want the Discord link, send a message to myself or Infectious Bites. We'll do that for now. Myself or Infectious Bites, and we'll get you the Discord link. Other than that, thank you guys all for the support on my video this morning, too. I can't believe how many views that got during my live. That's crazy. Thank you, guys. You're wonderful. I will see you all tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And let's everybody be nice to each other. Let's all be nice. See ya.